That was
means
what I was also.
it just goes through defenses, right?
Yeah, if it was 5 damage, then my power fist would be basically worthless.
Hello,
that's too much.
ladies and gentlemen. I am interrupting you now. This means that I am important.
Yep.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
I still need to add my fucking strength
Shut
to
up!
my melee weapons. No, you shut up.
But don't
God damn it,
swear
son.
in the first minute of the video. We're gonna get demonetized.
You're implying that the Unlucky Rolls channel has been partnered with YouTube in the first place. I can't make profit off of this shit, so I don't give a fuck. Hello.
Here.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, YouTube. I don't need your money. You haven't even paid me for anything on my main channel, let alone this one. Anywho. Alright. Welcome back to Unlucky Rolls, this dumbass channel with these dumbass people where we play dumbass games of tabletop RPGs.
Hey, the game is good. All right.
Oh yeah. I mean, the game is fun, but we're still a bunch of dumbasses playing.
I will suffer the insult.
game is
I
good
will
in
not
spite of
suffer an
us.
insult to the game. You know.
The game is good in spite of us, not because of
Yeah.
it.
Ah, boy. Well, welcome back to Blackstone Tales, our Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory campaign, as this is the second season, of the original season being in the Rogue Trader system. I am Trisky, otherwise known as Gizmek Skrapmangl da Gear-Turnah, and joining me are one new face and two or three faces you already know, I guess. I don't know. First,
I'm not a
would
face.
be-
I'm just a skull in the corner.
Yeah, you just get to sit there. We have Marius playing as Sator Eycanse, our navigator of the crew.
I'm eating pumpkin seeds. This is very important information which you need to know.
Okay, glad. And we are also joined by Reaper Joe playing as the epitomous rogue trader Holtz.
I might die this session.
Oh god.
The possibility exists.
We'll see.
Last but not least of the people that you already know would be our Skullman, the GM, who would
That's
be
me.
6.
How's it going, everybody?
We also have one new face, but you won't get to see their face, but the player will introduce themselves at least.
Oh, like right now?
Yes!
I didn't know the flow. Hi, my name is Chrono. Call me Chrono. I have my own little channel on YouTube where I do silly voice dubs.
Hi.
Nice.
Yep, he's
And,
a
And
character.
you'll meet my character in due time.
Yep, we'll meet them, and it'll be a funny, dramatic moment, probably. I don't know. Really depends on how
we're gonna
things
beef it.
roll.
I'm gonna beef it. Don't hype it up. I'm gonna beef it.
That's why I said funny and/or epic.
And
Alrighty, take it away, our GM, to give us a brief summary of last session. How about it?
Yeah. So last time the crew made it to Gilneas, which is a big system right off of the Cicatrix Maledictum, and found that nobody can travel through the warp on the side of the Cicatrix except for them. They were given repairs and supplies by the local warlord / leader / rogue trader Jakel Varonius, who has sort of taken over control of the system in the wake of no imperial oversight for these fine creatures, men, whatever, to become sort of tax collectors for him, and to go to these other systems nearby and pick up the imperial tribute that has basically been building up for the last 10 years. Nobody's been able to take it anywhere. So there's a number of systems that Jakel, mentioned their coordinates and sent them the star maps to, and they decided to go to the Frothis system, which is a massive manufacturing center, to pick up general manufacturing parts for ships and stuff. When they got there, they found 3 enemy ships attacking from the warlord Lord Slaughter that had followed them through the cicatrix at the beginning of the campaign. Which was very unlucky for them because that was literally the only system I had under attack on my sheet here at this time. So they destroyed one of the ships in ship combat. They blew up another one by throwing an asteroid into it, and now they have been attacked by the main murder class battleship that is. And they're currently being boarded. So their void shields flickered for a moment and allowed a lightning strike to occur. So there are Terminators aboard the ship. There is one up in the navigator spire. There's one on the main deck. And there are others scattered throughout the ship. Meanwhile, Gizmek decided to load himself into his boarding cannon and fired himself into the opposing ship and ended up inside of a battle arena surrounded by combat servitors trained to kill anybody inside, and so he is now fighting against a number of combat servitors in the battle arena aboard the murder ship. I think that covers the.
I would like to say that we weren't attacked. We rammed the enemy ship, and that caused our void shields to flicker. So we're getting counterattacked.
Yes, that is also true.
Yeah.
The other ship is suffering severe damage.
The risk I took was calculated, but man, am I bad at math.
Pretty
Like
much.
the ram took out their void shields as well, which allowed Gizmek to not just go splattering across the void of space when he boarded. So you're both boarding each other in a way.
Yep.
Everyone,
And,
it's like those Scooby-Doo cartoons where the bad guys try to get into the good guy's car, and the good guys try to get in the bad guy's car, and then just swap.
Yeah, or it's just like two Spider-Man pointing at each other.
I feel like there's going to be a Terminator who'll go.
Both boarding parties just pass each other in the void of space, just looking at each other throughout the windows.
I mean, that basically happened, except for the boarding party from the Black Star got destroyed. So it's just Gizmek on the other ship right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, I feel like there will be a Terminator who goes into the fucking Psyker fire and is just wondering what the fuck happened here.
Oh yeah, he goes into the astropath area to try and like cut off communications from the ship, and they're all just still sitting there dead. He just never cleaned that up.
There's just blood everywhere.
There's just blood and bodies everywhere.
I mean, there's literally no one in this entire sector of the galaxy that uses it. So
Yeah,
might not
astropaths have
know
all died. The astropaths have all died basically everywhere. So
yeah,
that's the cicatrix for you.
Yeah.
So give me 1 second. I'm pulling up some homebrew stats I have for these Terminators so we can get this combat started. Why don't you guys describe what your characters are seeing? Maybe have like a little like narrative scene. Why don't we have Holtz like describe what happens aboard the bridge when there's like a crackle and like a smell of electricity and a bolt of lightning just appears in the middle of the command deck and a Terminator it just appears. Like what's like the initial reaction from his crew, from his NPCs and stuff?
First off, how much does Holtz know about the Horus Heresy / the World Eaters? Like, does he know that these are World Eaters, or are they just like?
Well,
pickers?
You can give me a knowledge roll. Let me
Probably
see.
scholarship.
Yeah, give me a scholarship roll. I mean, you guys have been dealing with chaos stuff, so probably give yourself like an extra 2 die, and it'd be like difficulty 3, probably.
All right.
Anything?
And then 2 more die. So.
Let me know what you get. I'm not looking at that screen right now.
I got
1,
4
2, 3, 4.
successes.
You still need 1 more dice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this Terminator in front of you. I sent a picture into the Discord. They've got like the standard World Eaters like insignia all over them. They're the right color, right? Like it's not hard to. They've also been all over the galaxy. They're they're not like the other legions that have sort of been like being tricksy and like trying to figure out ways to take over stuff. They've just been like fighting everywhere all the time. So they're sort of like in the public eye all the time. That's probably you probably know exactly what you're facing, which probably adds to the fear of it a little bit.
Well, I'd like to shift that 1/6 for glory, and then I'd also like to. The only reason I asked was so I could make this joke unironically. It's like, oh, I look at the Terminator and I say, "Well, it looks like you bit off more than you could chew." And
you can't shift that 6 for glory.
Okay, that's fair.
Because it'll take 2 successes away, and you did 3. You
gotcha.
Had 4, right? Yeah.
4.
Okay.
But he still lands the amazing joke.
Yes.
Yes, you still land an amazing joke.
Look, you cannot shift the 6 for glory, but I will allow you to make that joke.
Yeah, jokes are allowed.
But like realistically, I think Holtz would try and organize his crew to like essentially first rank fire, second rank fire, whatever the equivalent of that is.
Well, I don't know if you guys have describe the situation on the bridge while I'm
I mean
not just like Holtz's order, but like everyone's like reaction, like what's going on. Give me like a narrative while I'm searching for this guy's stats real quick.
So right now most of the people on board are like on the bridge are like administrative, like running the ship. Obviously there's like combat personnel, but like most of it is just like relaying orders, like people like in their stations. And if they're armed with anything, it's mostly just like las pistols and maybe like combat knives. So like for the most part, it like when the Terminator shows up, there's an immediate beat, and like everyone just kind of like stops and looks at it. Holtz, tells his amazing, super cool badass one-liner, and depending on how disciplined they are, like he'd basically just tell them all to like open fire. And there might be a few screams because chaos, but yeah.
Okay.
They've been kind of winning this fight so far, so they're feeling pretty confident, I'd imagine.
Okay. So you guys have first turn on that battle aboard the bridge. So you can either have the NPCs go, or you can go, and then the Terminator will go.
I'm going to supercharge my plasma pistol, right?
Okay. So what does that look like?
So like Holtz just picks up his plasma pistol, and you can just hear the hum of like the charge like charging, and he just points it, and he's like, "You bit off more than you can." And let me just roll skill.
Yeah. So his defense is 4.
I have 4 dice.
There you go.
I didn't move, so I think I can aim.
You can aim for 1 more die. Yes.
Yeah. So that'll give it 5. That is 4, and then 1 more die.
Yeah, and you got a critical hit too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna roll on the crit table.
As I supercharged, that is 15 plus 4 extra dice.
Yeah. So do the well, also we have a crit, so you might have to have extra ED. Let me check real quick.
Yeah.
Critical effects. That's under damage and dying. Cool. Okay, so you fire directly into this guy. Give me a D100 roll.
D100?
Or sorry, D66.
I think that's 2 D6s. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 D6s. Yeah.
There is an option to roll to D6s.
46.
46. All right, that's called Murderous Onslaught. A thunderous blow sends the target sprawling. Shattered ribs pierce organs. Jets of blood spew from the wound, and the foe lies writhing in pain. All right, so you fire this plasma pistol into this Terminator. And I don't think it was expecting a freaking plasma pistol aboard like the deck of a spaceship. Like that sounds like super suicidal. So the bolt of plasma crashes into this guy, and he smashes to the floor, and he suffers D3 plus 1 extra mortal wounds. So go ahead and roll me a D3.
3.
Okay, he's going to suffer 3 mortal wounds.
D3
Or
plus
4,
one.
sorry,
Holtz
4
just-
mortal wounds.
Holt's just casually fucking max rolling.
Yeah, so basically the Terminator helmet on this guy is like melting away as you smashed him into his face, and you can see like his skull is starting to like come out through his
Oh, I haven't even rolled damage yet.
through his skin.
Jesus.
Yeah, so roll the ED for me.
So that's 4 ED total.
Yeah, so just roll 4 dice and
so
an extra damage. So 2 extra damage.
Okay. And then it's 15 normally.
Yeah, so 17 damage. So he has Terminator armor on.
With minus 3 AP.
Yeah.
And also consider his toughness because
Was I in short range? Was that 6 or
6 meters. I think he was further away than that.
Okay.
Because if he was, he would be like smashed to the ground by the teleportarium strike, right?
Yeah.
What armor does this guy have? Okay, so that is. Okay, so he's got 7 armor, and he has 8 toughness.
Ow.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah.
it's only going to do like 3 extra wounds to him. So he's going to take 7 total wounds. So he's definitely hurt.
That's more wounds, even from what he took, than I have total.
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of wounds. They're Space Marines, right? So that's fine. So he takes this plasma bolt to the face. He's now prone, which I think it means it takes his movement or half his movement to stand up or something. So maybe he won't be able to get to you, but like he'll be able to like rampage his way through the deck a little bit.
What weapons does he have on him?
Sorry?
What weapons does the Terminator have on him?
I missed that statement. What was that?
What
Weapon?
weapons?
What
Oh,
weapons?
he's got 2 lightning claws. You know, just
Okay,
2.
like
Just two lightning.
I see.
He's here to corn it up.
Yeah, he's here to corn it up. He's doing his thing.
Nice.
Let's see. Okay, cool. So he takes all that damage, and I'm trying to look up prone to see what that does exactly.
Shall we move the scene over to someone else while you look that up?
Oh yeah, standing up when prone is a free action on your turn. You can't aim. Okay, great. That's fine. All right, cool. So he's gonna stand up and he's gonna start rampaging around. Let's see how well he does at like damaging the bridge, and then that'll like affect your like command rolls later on. He's basically doing like an interaction attack on you to reduce your like command skill in a way. So that would be. Not a fan of how far apart things are in this book, to be honest. It's hard to find everything.
yeah.
Okay.
Convenience? What's that?
That's standard for 40k rulebook.
Convenience. Get out of here. All right.
We need
So
to
he's
find
got a weapon skill of 10, so he's going to roll 10 dice. And he doesn't roll very well. He only gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So he's going to he's gonna shift that 6 and do like extra effect. So he just starts rolling around with his lightning claws, like tearing flesh from bone, killing everybody. He jumps down into the command pit and just starts like tearing through individuals. You're gonna be at like a -3 to your command for a while. And then it's and then goes back to you, and then that'll be the end of the round, and we'll switch to somebody else.
Okay. I mean, since it goes back to me, I'm just gonna fuck it. I guess
it's gonna be the NPCs that are activating,
Okay.
right? So.
it's I guess I mean they're gonna just whoever's available just gonna just shoot.
Okay. So give me a command test to get everybody together to and then don't do the minus because that's only affecting the ship, not the people in this area. But you're gonna be at a +1 difficulty because fear and terror and all that. So give me a command check difficulty, let's say 3 to get everybody together to fire on this guy.
That I just succeed.
You just succeed, man. Nice. Okay, so now they're gonna fire. So go ahead and roll. Let's see, how many dice should you roll for this? Probably 6 dice.
Okay.
Right? For the skill of everybody on the ship, and then being a horde and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And his defense is 4. So let's see if they manage to score a hit.
66.
Yeah.
They have 5 successes.
Yes, they do. Okay, and they don't roll a 1 or a 6 on the last die, so that's good. And so I believe they just all have las pistols and stuff, right?
Yeah. They're not quite as equipped.
It's just gonna bounce off his armor no matter what you roll for the ED because you didn't roll enough crits effects or 6s to shift and stuff.
Yeah.
So lasers just bounce off this guy's armor, right? They steam. And he continues rampaging around the command deck. Meanwhile, upstairs in the navigator spire, it's pretty close quarters when this lightning strike hits in the corridor outside of your chambers, Sator. So many of your assistants go flying. These lightning strikes. They cause a lot of damage just from their appearance, because they're bringing in all this extra air, and wind rushes around and it makes a huge noise. And you guys have the first action on that combat. So who do you want to go upstairs, Sator?
Probably try have Ira trying to throw her shard net at him.
Yeah, so we can have Ira burst into action, right? So she'll jump up from her chair, grabbing her equipment along the way, running towards this beast, screaming in Eldar at it, and she lops her shard net on top of him. So go ahead and give me a roll of let's say 8 dice, defense 4.
All right.
Dark Eldar are pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so she has to get really close to this thing to get the shard net over it, and you can see it, starting to charge up and send off electric pulses into the Terminator, but they just seem to steam off of the armor, right? But the shard net is blocking its movement, it's having trouble moving. But he's about to tear into Ira with his lightning claws.
Ooh.
So he attacks. And she's going to be defense 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he misses. Yeah, so he misses.
I'm just watching all these go down.
He comes in with his lightning claws, and she ducks back as they sweep the air, drawing ozone from the air. And so now one of you guys on the bridge, on the navigator spire, can go.
I could throw a grenade at him, but no.
Might not be the best idea.
I think I might know what might be a good thing to do.
If you want, you can pop up. I don't mind.
Huh?
If you want to pop at all, I don't mind. But what's your idea?
Shoot him.
I don't have shooting skill good at all.
Yeah. Good point.
Anyway, I'm
Do
gonna
it
get
anyway.
within...
No balls.
No balls. Do it. Anyway.
I literally cannot
You also have
succeed
your
at
your
shooting.
Clan Escher crew present. In the
Yeah, I know,
turn.
but I can actually do some powerful stuff. I'm gonna get within 5 meters of him with my movement, and I'm gonna try. Even though he has psychic defenses, would there be anything for Sator to be able to determine how well this guy could resist against his navigator powers?
I mean, yeah. Give me a scholarship check.
Yeah.
Difficulty 3 as well.
Wow, I barely passed that. But
Jeez, you guys are like stoned by the skin of your teeth already.
That is
Yeah.
So you know you recognize the markings on this Terminator. You remember when you were fighting with Lord Slaughter's men the other time.
Lord Slaughter.
Yeah, they have some. Yeah, Lord Slaughter. Yeah. So you have like you know that this flavor of Space Marine is known for their ability to shrug off psychic manifestations. Oh yeah, that's a glory.
Oh yeah. Also, were we also supposed to get a glory when Holtz critted, or?
You don't get a glory when you crit in combat. You just get the extra damage and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. You can spend glory when you crit in combat to
For
get
extra
like,
damage,
bonuses.
extra effects.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, he did 4 extra mortal wounds. I think.
So because this guy is these guys are so well known for being protected against psychic stuff, Sator will get within 2 meters of him and try to slap him with his agonizer.
Okay, so you like run out into the corridor. You grab your agonizer off of like a shelf or something that you have sitting there, and you whip into him. So go ahead and give me a weapon skill roll.
Also, just for the sake of it, I'm 2 meters outside of his. I'm 2 meters away from him, so I should be outside of his melee.
Yeah. He's currently dealing with a Dark Eldar right now. So.
Oh, no. The complication
I mean,
though.
that's
Yeah,
5 successes, but
you super hit, but you also roll a complication. So let me figure out what the complication is.
Wait,
real quick.
let me 1, 2, 3, 4. Or no, it's
you
it's
got 5.
5.
Yeah.
5.
If I roll,
he's also defense -2 right now because he's being restrained by the shard net. So you can shift that 6 for extra damage if you want.
no, because his defense. Oh, his defense is -2.
Yeah.
Yeah, his defense is 2 right now.
I need to check one of my mutations real quick because I think that I need to shift to for this.
Oh, to shift for damage, you need to shift 2 because you're like extra weak.
When you make a melee attack, you may shift to give the target poison condition with a damage of 1 mortal wound. I'm gonna do that.
Okay, cool. So what does that look like? Well, I look up the complications.
You just
Well,
shoot
Sator
the image of a
goes to,
Lenny face at him.
No. Well, Sator goes to whip the Terminator. Suddenly out of his hand, seemingly some poison, some ichor seems to come out of his hand and go through the whole agonizer as he manages to hit the Terminator.
Okay, so like the agonizer like wraps around the Terminator's like arm or something, and fires off the electrical impulses, and the Terminator like screams in pain. And then while doing that, you can see like a sizzling toxic like lines come off of the agonizer onto his armor, and the Terminator rages. Go ahead and give me a D66 roll for the combat complication.
66.
So roll 2d6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Roll 2d6 and we'll put them together.
Yeah. Oh, 2d5 for fuck's sake. But I'm
Take the one in the
There's
two.
my
there's literally a fucking
know.
button for it.
there,
It
23.
was a 23
Okay, there we
anyway.
No,
Okay. So this complication doesn't make sense for the agonizers. So roll again. 65. Okay. Oh, well, that's bad.
Okay, let's do it. Let's hear it.
So remember when I said that the agonizer wrapped around the arm of the Terminator? It in fact did not. It in fact wrapped around the waist of Ira, and began shocking her instead.
Oh.
So you can't shift the 6 because her defense is too high, but she's currently in the middle of like holding this shard net on this Terminator, so she doesn't see it coming. So she's left.
I'm fucking. I'm shifting.
So
that
go ahead and
6
roll damage on Ira.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift that 6 for glory then instead.
Huh? Oh no, you can't. 'Cause you need to hit
Oh.
defense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
No fun allowed.
Boop.
Yeah. No fun allowed.
Only plus.
No jokes allowed. Okay, so this goes through. Well, she doesn't have any armor on, so that's whatever.
No, she actually does, and it's like she has witch armor, and she's like 2 armor pen, but I also have 2 armor pen, so yeah.
Yeah, like the agonizer is gonna. Well, the agonizer goes through her toughness and goes through her armor too, right? So she just takes.
Yeah.
She just takes
Witch
7
Hunter is like
wounds.
the key, so like.
Which she's gonna try and like roll determination to turn to shock.
Oh yeah, she also takes these wounds as shock too.
Oh, she takes all these wounds as shock, right? Instead of normal damage. So I think she just passes out. I think she just like flips to the wall and like slams against the wall. And
When you take full,
Yeah,
when you are
butt.
at full, when you are at full fucking shock, you don't go unconscious. You just have reduced actions or something.
I think you actually go unconscious when you're full on shock, right? Where is that?
I'm pretty sure that after you are full on shock, all of it turns into wounds damage or something like that. I could always be wrong.
Oh, you become exhausted, right?
Yeah.
You've suffered more
She's
shock than the
already
maximum
tired
shock
of
you
your
are exhausted.
shit.
Okay, so you don't. She doesn't pass out, but she slumps and drops the shard net, and the Terminator like rips the shard net into multiple pieces with his lightning claws and roars in anger.
Great.
Jesus.
So we will jump to Gizmek in the battles of the murder.
Oh, it looks like we got a good time here.
By a horde of combat servitors. What do you do? What does Gizmek do?
What else but charge? So
Say
yeah,
that again?
I'm gonna charge the nearest one.
Okay, so you charge them. So you run across the combat arena towards one of these horrific machines. It's like 3 men spliced together with like mechanical pieces, with all sorts of like robot arms and like saw blades, and it's got like a pack of las guns strapped to its head. And it's like coming right at you, like shooting wildly in every direction. So go ahead and give me an attack roll. Let me see.
I do get
if I
plus
can find
180 when I charge, so I've already factored that in.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Because of here we go. Damn.
What?
You need to roll weapon skill too. That's damage, not.
Yeah, that's
weapon
damage.
skill.
That's not weapon skill.
All right. I had 2 rating and weapon skill. Fuck's
I
sake.
found the combat servitor.
2 5s for 2 successes but a complication.
There's a combat servitor. Okay, they got defense 1, so you hit, but you have a complication. So roll me a d66.
Hopefully you don't hit yourself.
25.
25. So that would be
25.
yeah, 60 65 was like I get to choose a new target for the attack, basically.
Oh god.
Which is it's called inconvenient target. 25 is out of ammo, so that doesn't make sense with the power claw. So I go roll again.
25.
Oh boy.
66.
Okay, so it's inconvenient target again. You're by yourself, so that doesn't make sense anymore. So go ahead and roll again. 51. There we go. Okay. Actually, that doesn't make sense for this weapon either. So, go ahead, roll one.
So he's rolled 3 or 4 different times.
What is 51?
The thing is that like a power claw like is attached to him. So wait, no, this isn't attached to you. You're like holding it, right?
It is like it's not physically melded to me. It is on my hand, but it is a removable weapon.
Is 51 like disarm?
Okay, so you smash into this combat servitor because you hit. But when you do so, your power claw becomes like lodged in its core, and it presses the like release on the side of the power claw, and so you like pull your hand out of it, and you don't have it anymore. It's dropped.
Oi!
But go ahead and roll me damage into the servitor.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So the reason, there's a reason it caught inside and caught the release is you like landed like directly into the reactor for this thing, into the power pack, and it like explodes and throws you away from the servitor.
Yeah, just for reference, for those of you just listening right now,
claw behind jammed into its innards. You know.
For those of you listening right now, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successes and a.
Oh my god!
Wait, what happened?
He rolled
the max
10
damage
success
with 8 ED. He rolls max damage. That's crazy. Okay, so the servitors are gonna fight you back. They're gonna fight as a horde. So what's your defense?
My defense is 1, actually.
Okay, so they normally have 5 weapon skill, but because there's 3 of them, they get +1. So they hit you, right? Because it's two successes.
Yep.
So they come down with their like crazy servo arms, with blades and like maybe like welding equipment or something attached to it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And that is that. Okay, so that's going to be 9 plus 2 ED AP3. So let me do the 2 ED. Okay, so that's 2 hits. So that's 11 AP3 on you.
My total resilience is 4.
Yeah.
Your
total resilience, including your armor?
Resilience 4, armor value 4.
So that's 8. So
that's 8.
Yeah.
You would soak 5 of that.
But it's AP3, so you'll soak 5 of the 11 damage. And then you can also roll determination to take some as shock as well. You should do that.
I mean, I have to. Because
Yeah, you should.
otherwise I'm fucking boned.
Yeah, you probably should. So that roll is
Is it soak for that or?
It's just toughness.
You just roll determination. Yeah, whatever your determination.
You don't have a determination.
Yeah, there's no determination.
Oh, sorry, you roll dice equal to your toughness. Okay,
3 successes.
So 2 of the it's 3 successes. So you can reduce the wounds by 3 and take 3 shock instead.
Yep.
I can only take 2 shock.
Oh, you only have 2 shock on in your pool?
I only had 2 current. I have max 4, but I was down to 2.
Why?
Actually, I forgot to update that. Yeah, that must have been it. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I remember why. You got shocked when you were shooting at the other ship by with all the like crazy buttons down in the thing. So you should be at 2 shock for sure.
Yeah, now I'm down to 0.
Okay, so you take 2 shock and you take 2 damage off, and then you're also exhausted. Conditions, exhausted.
Right, I'm at Yeah, I'm at 6 wounds. I have 6 total.
Yeah, so exhausted is really bad. So when you're exhausted, you can only move or attack. You can't do both. And when you attack, you can't use like special options. You can only just do a basic melee attack or basic ranged attack. And any shock suffered is immediately converted into mortal wounds at that point.
Joy.
Yeah. So
I think
exhausted
that
is like you get half actions and you can't do anything. You can't
You
do like,
may want to only take 1 shock.
It depends on how many wounds you have.
I have 6 wounds.
You might still be dead because you still take. You take.
Yeah, I don't feel very tanky as an orc in full ceramite
No,
armor.
if you take 1, you'll still survive with 1 wound, and if you only take 1 shock, so you won't be exhausted, but you'll be at 1 wound. Otherwise, you'll be at 2 wounds, and the next attack will kill you anyways.
Are y'all gonna be dead before I come in?
Maybe.
I mean, you can join any of these fights. By the way, I'll let you join any of these fights whenever you want. So you basically like just show up whenever you think is available.
I feel like for Gizmek we might need PP to arrive there in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, I feel like maybe I should join Gizmek or something somehow.
Yeah, like so instead
there was a second
you
loaded
being on board the
breaching
Blackstone,
round.
you're still aboard this ship by Lord Slaughter, right? Like maybe instead of being on the Blackstone this whole time, you've been on this ship trying to figure out where the freaking tome went because it was taken, right?
Well, give me a second.
Right.
Okay.
I'll just be a few minutes. I had to.
Okay. Well, we'll jump to somebody else, and then you can jump
Go to somebody else.
Yeah. So we'll jump back to Sator. Not Sator. We'll jump back to Holtz on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's your action.
I mean, I'm going to aim, supercharge, and fire. So.
Okay, I'm gonna make you spend a glory because I'm gonna try and seize the initiative with a ruin.
I mean, I'll spend the glory.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also get to spend your ruin, or
I think that does force him to spend the ruin.
Yeah, I spent the ruin to seize the initiative, and then you spent the glory.
you had 4 ruin, but I just didn't realize.
So yeah, I'm going to fire. I have aim, so I have like 1 more die, and I was gonna spend that glory to get another die, but like that's fine. Yeah. So hope dice don't. I'm gonna re-roll that. Spend a wrath to re-roll those 3D. Oh, I have 1 more d6 for the extra for aiming.
Right, and you have 1 more as well.
So I'll re-roll. I'll roll 40.
Re-roll.
I'll spend the wrath to re-roll.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Really?
Okay, so your shot goes wide, hits a cognitator. Cognitator explodes. The Terminator like looks up at you in anger. He's only got like half of a face left, like the rest of it's like melted away. And he leaps with all of his might and lands right in front of you. And tries to do the lightning claw on you.
I might straight up be dead. I only have like 2 defense.
God. Went south so fast.
Like I was hoping that I would hit with the supercharge. Oh god. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, so he rolls a shitload of damage.
9 successes, damn.
Oh.
So yeah, so this is where things are gonna get weird.
You only die instantly if you take double your wounds in damage.
He pulls back his hand to drive his lightning claw into your chest, and you can like feel the electricity as it comes towards you, like pulling like the hairs off of your skin up. You can feel all the goosebumps in your body rise. You can feel your adrenaline pumping, and as the Terminator claw comes towards you, it disappears, and he disappears out of thin air. Similarly, Sator, the Terminator, is like coming down your throat as well with his lightning claws, and he disappears mid-strike on you as well. And and the murder class ship like starts to peel away from the Black Star as the Black Star starts to like roll as the cognitators are all exploding across the command deck. And then there's like reports filing in from across the ship that all the boarders have fled for some reason.
I give the order to investigate the one room that I had sealed off with a bunch of purity seals.
Yeah, so like you pull up the camera in front of that door, and there's just like dead guardsmen all over that corridor. They've been like ripped apart. If you like go back in time and like look at the footage, like there's a Terminator like appears in that particular corridor and just like rips through them all, and then like heads inside of the armory. Meanwhile, Gizmek, you are on this ship still, and so you have a combat round to deal with. Is Chrono back?
Unfortunately not. I have to go actually leave the call for just a moment. I'll be right back, I swear.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Well, Gizmek, you're alone on the ship. What do you do? Oh, yeah, you're still fighting 3 combat servitors, by the way. Oh no, we'll have you killed 2 of them with that like big attack. So there's 2 combat servitors in front of you. Your power claw is disabled. What do you do?
I would like to attempt to pick one of these motherfuckers up and hit an up motherfucker with another motherfucker.
Give me an athletics roll. Difficulty.
You mind if I use our glory for this?
Go
The
for it.
glory's already taken.
Yeah, I think I'm using it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, your athletics is like 7. So yeah, you should be able to do that. So like difficulty 3, I guess, to pick up a servitor and swing it like a weapon.
He's also an orc, so oh my.
I think he hits.
Shift that for glory. Glory.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do like a improvised weapon thing. So that's definitely a hit. So we'll just use like one of the weapons of these guys against themselves. So yeah, so Gizmek like reaches forward, grabs one of the downed servitors, just swings it around his body, clipping the other 2. That's a really good roll. So.
Oh, no. My intent was to pick up one of the living motherfuckers and beat the other living motherfucker with it.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll just do the dead one, and you're just like sweeping, and you're hitting the other 2. Right, because otherwise you have to do like a grapple check, and it's all sorts of random rules. This is just like you can just swing like a downed object. Like it makes it easier.
All right.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure that you can shift those 2 6s for glory.
You can shift one for glory, for sure. And then if you shift the other one for damage, you'll kill both of them.
Yes.
So, but you need to roll me at least 1 ED on the 2 ED. So roll me 2 ED. And then you need to roll one of them. Otherwise, you'll kill one and leave the other one pretty low. But
oh my fucking god! I'm using a wrath to reroll that if I can.
You can do that. Yep.
Thank you.
There we go.
I mean, to be fair, you did get that amazing grapple roll.
And the servo arm is brutal, so that's actually like enough DD to overkill them. So yeah, you smash the other 2 combat servitors. And when you do that, like you're left like alone in this combat arena. Yeah. So you're left alone in this combat arena. You can we'll come back to you in a second, but like
I just want to make sure I mention that I pick up my fucking power claw again because I want that back.
Yeah. So you can walk over to the down servitor now that the combat's over and like get it unconnected from the innards of this beast.
I'm gonna have to clean that off.
Yeah, it's not like damaged. It was just dropped is the result. So, okay. So back aboard the Blackstone. Holtz, what are you doing other than just like breathing heavily as like you can still like phantom feel the lightning claw coming through your body.
Other than that, could I actually
I slap myself in the face, and after getting the status report, and trying to figure out where Gizmek is, the moment I realize Gizmek is still on that ship, I launch in pursuit because no one steals my orc but me, and I'm going to try and disable. I'm not trying to explode the ship because I want Gizmek back alive. But
so you're not opening fire. You're just trying to get like close enough to like go do another round of boarding action, maybe.
Disable the engines essentially. Like if I can
try to
ram
disable
the engines or something.
All right, so so you're gonna have to do a command check against the other guy, the other commander.
Yeah.
And then you're also at a -3 or +3 difficulty because of the interaction attack.
I will spend a glory to if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So spend a glory. So please, dice gods.
Leadership.
I'm going to spend another wrath to reroll that. Oh, I have
You
another
also had-
glory. I'm going to reroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
And that will give me another 4 successes. So I'm at 8 successes.
All right, so his command check is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then he's going to use a ruin to reroll those 3 dice.
I think he succeeds if I'm at -3.
Oh yeah, he's at 3. Yeah, he does succeed. Well, he would do that. He would do that anyway. To just blow ass away.
1 extra.
So the ship is making like a straight line directly to the Lagrange point to try and warp away. The Blackstone, like it's not like you're having trouble commanding it so much as like everything is so damaged in the command pit, like nobody knows what the backup for the backup is, right? And so everyone's scrambling around trying to like figure out how to reroute the signals to the engines, and it takes a really long time for the engines to finally kick on to try and pursue this craft. It appears to be like getting away from you. So we're going to teleport. We're going to go back to Gizmek's perspective. What's Gizmek currently doing?
He has picked up his power claw, looked around, and realized that he has nothing else to attack, so he is going to go find something else to attack, because he is most assuredly oblivious to the fact that he is being left behind right now.
So you think that you're like fighting still. You have a huge gash in your arm that hurts immensely.
As I'm walking along, I'm going to be like very poorly Medicaid patching it up with the Medicaid Mechadendrite.
Okay, so give me a Medicaid check. I don't know the details of that skill. Let me look that up. That's the difficulties and stuff. Should be under damage and dying, right?
I think it should be under Medicaid skill. Like this.
Respite. That's a downtime activity. Environmental hazards. Nope. Skills. Medicaid.
Heal wounds. You can make a DN3 Medicaid and to restore a wound to a character. Every shifted exalted icon restores 1 additional wound.
Yes. And you can heal yourself with that. So
I got 3 successes.
You succeed the difficulty 3, so you get 1 wound back. So you're still injured. But you're less injured.
Here was some shite.
So, Gizmek, give me a.
You can keep doing it. I think like it's a combat action. And if you attempt the Medicaid on yourself, the test is made with a +1 D.
Okay, so he would have failed that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can keep doing it as you're walking. Like it's a combat action.
Yeah, first one is just like stapling up the bleeding. It doesn't do anything to actually heal too much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make a ruling that you can only do a first aid on a particular wound once, and then you have to go to the doctor to fix up the rest of it.
I think if you have a Medicaid rating, you can heal a single character's wounds during a regroup. They automatically regain a number of wounds equal to your Medicaid int dice pool.
Right.
Yeah, so if you take an hour to hang out, then you can you can do that.
On that note, I'm going to probably actually, assuming I can take like a short moment and use my last wrath, I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
So I re-roll the 4 that I missed, and that's 3 more successes. Okay.
Yeah, so you do get the 1 wound back, but you don't get any 6s to shift, so you don't get any additional wounds back. Yeah.
At least it's something.
Yeah, so if you have Medicaid rating, you can heal a single character's wounds during a regroup. They gain wounds equal to your complete Medicaid pool. So if you found a place to hide in the ship for an hour and patch yourself up, you could heal yourself to full health.
Gizmek is going to have at least enough sense now that the first fight is over to try and do that, but he is also unaware that the ship is slowly trying to get away, to warp away. So he's going.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna take days, right, to do. So, so you got plenty of time.
I mean,
definitely doing that.
If Eva gets close to running away, I'm opening fire on the engines. A risk of losing him is better than a certainty, right? So,
I mean the pass command check means that this craft is currently. Okay. Out of range of your guns. Otherwise, I'd have you do command checks to shoot at it, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
And it would be shooting back at you and stuff. This is more of a chase. So Gizmek, you need to find a place to hide, basically, to have a little regroup on this enemy ship. So give me a stealth check, difficulty 1, because I don't think that anybody's going to be on this section of the ship for a while. Okay, so you're gonna have some people stumble upon your hiding spot as you're regrouping. So you're sitting there patching up your wounds when you hear. So you're probably hiding in a section of this combat arena.
I'm hiding in the dugout of the arena. Yeah.
Yeah, and Two Space Marines come into the arena. They're wearing ritual garb. They have their helmets on, but the rest of their outfits are cloth, and you can see they're bulging muscles and stuff. Looks like they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because there's all but the dead combat servitors. So they begin clearing it out, and they're talking to each other while they're clearing out these dead servitors to set up for another practice trial. If you give me a awareness check, difficulty 2, you can hear what they're talking about.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Okay. So the two of them are talking about how successful the raid went, and that they've found the artifact and they're bringing it back to Lord Slaughter. And they were talking about how one of them was talking about how he was ripping through the command deck and how crippled the ship probably is, and that they're gonna get away. But he was so close to finishing off the captain when the retreat was called, and he's pretty angry about it.
Yeah, that's no good. Are they aware of me right now?
Not right yet. Not yet.
I charge the motherfuckers.
They keep moving they're setting up the arena, so they're getting close to your dugout area. So eventually they're gonna find you.
Oh, no worries. I charge the motherfuckers.
So you come charging out of the dugout, screaming, and in orky fashion. They look at you like in complete surprise. Give me an attack against one of them with +2 dice because you're coming in from stealth.
All right.
And they
So
also
just temporary add +2 ED.
No, not 2 ED, just 2 extra attack die.
Oh right, weapon skill.
Yeah, weapon skill.
I can do that under modifier here.
Reroll
Wait, no,
that.
That's the wrong one.
just
That's
roll
the
your
one.
Actually, question. Considering I just sat aside and healed myself that way, can I get that wrath die back?
Yeah. Well, you never actually finished healing. Is the point of the stealth? But yes, I can give you your wrath die back.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I didn't wind up.
You didn't know you could full heal yourself if you just took.
Don't you still have 2 extra dice to roll?
Yeah, I do have 2 extra dice to roll.
And you have 2 extra dice to roll as well.
It didn't do the
but
modifier.
Yeah, spend your wrath on this attack roll as well.
Roll your dice first too.
So those are the 2 extra dice you gave me, and now I need to re-roll the base thing, which I can just do because I missed all those.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh motherfucker.
Okay, so you swing and a miss. You come out. You fire off your power claw, and these guys are going. They don't have any weapons, so they're just going to try and like grab you and grapple you to the ground and try to like capture you. So.
I contested athletics, or
Yeah, it's a contested athletics, I believe, to grab you, but they're gonna like help each other. So
it would be either like athletics or weapon skill.
Yeah, I'm looking at the combat options real quick to see what exactly the grapple move is. Yeah, pose strength test with the target, not athletics, just strength. So go ahead and roll strength, Gizmek. Okay, so you got 4, so they got to roll
and a glory.
At least 4. And a glory. Yes, you do get a glory. Where is their stats? Heretical threats. Chaos Space Marine. Okay, so their strength 8. And they're gonna one's gonna aid the other, so they'll be strength 9. Okay, so one of them expertly dodges to the side as you swing your power claw. He comes up behind you. He grabs your arm in like a pincer hold, and drops you to the ground. The other one drops on top of you as well, hitting the release on your power claw, which causes it to drop off your hand, and they pin your hands behind your back and your body to the ground. You can either try to struggle, in which case they will try to break your arm, or you can relax and they'll just take you captive.
When you really think about modifying how that release works. All right. I am going to. We do have that glory. Can I use that to make a narrative declaration?
Isn't it wrath to use to declare?
It's wrath,
stuff?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wrath for that, not a glory.
Damn it. Fuck it. I'm an orc. I'm gonna struggle.
Okay. Give me another strength check, and if they beat you, then they'll do a little bit of damage to you and knock you out, basically. Okay, so you got 3.
we're just rolling. Yeah, they.
Yeah, I'm knocked
We are
out. Okay.
facing space marines. That's the problem.
Yes, but Space Marine's not in their combat.
They're very, very strong. They're very strong. Yeah, it's because they're swollen with dark power. They're actually even buffer than normal Space Marines.
Strength 8 is max of a human, essentially.
Yeah.
Hello.
But yeah, so they pop one of your shoulders out of the socket, and you just immediately pass out from the pain. And
oh boy!
And you
what did I miss?
your vision drifts to blackness.
Gizmek was try to attack to we're losing. So basically, once while we were fighting, they took a fucking artifact which holds hid it from everyone else, and they teleported back to the ship. And Gizmek tried to charge two of the space marines while on their ship because because they were about to find him while he was trying to heal, and now they're wrestling him.
They knocked me
Yeah,
out because they
so,
popped out like my shoulder joint and I fell unconscious.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you're currently captured. So you're going to be put into the brig of this ship.
time for a rescue.
So you still have two NPCs if you'd like to like take control of one of them temporarily while Gizmek is like caught in the brig.
Yeah.
Or we can do like a prison break scene with Chrono. What do you guys think?
Wasn't Pippi also about to? Wasn't Pippi meant to fuck?
I do
There's
want
no
to.
way she can get to the ship now.
I do want
Yeah,
to say one thing. My dad called me and asked me to do some stuff for him, and he doesn't know that I'm doing this right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't say no.
Okay. Are you available now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Alright.
Okay, so do you want to do? We can do like a jailbreak scene, if you want. If we can have Safar show up in front of Gizmek's cell and break him out, and you guys can do like a break for the hangar and then escape the ship. Basically, would be the idea.
I think a good idea. How is it Gizmek got onto the world leadership?
I
T-torpedoed
fired myself
himself.
in a torpedo.
Okay.
Yeah, the torpedo's like destroyed. There's no way you take the torpedo back, basically.
Okay, because what I'm saying is maybe my character got on the ship in much the similar way after him, realizing that this person was integral.
Well, another thing is that you could have just been on this world leadership this whole time, right? Because you've been trying to investigate what happened to that tome you're supposed to find, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you've gotten intel that the artifact that the world leaders were looking for is not the tome, but they've managed to pull it from that ship. So maybe like a day or two later, after Gizmek's arrest, you can like show up and be like, listen, take me back to your ship and we'll talk, right?
Okay.
Right. I think that's
Let's see
probably
how this works out.
a better way to do the pre-story for your character.
Mhm.
It works into the current narrative. So Gizmek, you've been sitting in this cell. They've like tied your. They haven't managed to figure out how to get your mechadendrites off of you because they're like attached to you, but they've like tied them up so that in brass chains. So you haven't been able to like heal yourself at all. You just sort of been laying there in your own pain. You've managed to pop your shoulder back into place, so you don't have like a dislocated arm anymore. But you're all chained up in like these brass fittings, and you're in the brig of like a world leader ship, so it's pretty horrible. There's like constant screaming at all times of the day. Randomly, you'll see like you see like other cells with other humans and aliens in them, and randomly they'll just get like dragged away, kicking and screaming, and never to be seen again.
This is horrible. Asterisk for humans.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gizmek probably doesn't care because orc.
Right, but like every time the prison opens, like you have this thought, like, are they coming for me this time? Like, are they coming to kill me?
Are they coming for me so I could try and murder them? Gizmek doesn't have these delusions of dying.
I mean, you're also in pretty horrible pain because the wounds on your body from the servitors. So it's not the best time,
No.
Also, I don't think you've been fed in like 2 days, so you're probably like pretty weak and malnourished from right now anyway. And you don't have that like, you're not able to do that orky thing where you like full of adrenaline, do all sorts of crazy things like manic versions to avoid any of these like these things that you're dealing with. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm there. I don't really have much else I can do in this situation.
Yeah. So, Chrono, why don't you describe your character? And this appears before you in front of your cell.
You hear a voice from outside of the cell before anything. A bit of a quiet, almost playful whisper that doesn't seem to be taking the situation all too seriously. What a battle! You fought it quite well, yet here you sit alone in a cell. Then, it is from then, you see a figure swing upside down and suspend itself in front of the little window to your cell door. A hooded character suspended from the ceiling by his feet from a whip, sort of Spider-Man style. Hooded figure with a golden mask covered in earrings and piercings with a little bit of wispy facial hair, pointed ears and dark skin. Wearing a long white cloak with a colored trim. And glowing green eyes, or piercing green eyes.
You's a weird looking knife here, Git. What's you doing here?
Much the same thing as you. Not what I expected to be doing.
I expected to be fighting, and I fought, and then I lost.
I expected to be finding, and I didn't find, and then I lost. Just
You're implying we're gonna get this whole like kindred spirit kind of thing going on. Meanwhile, I'm in the cell, and you're hanging from the ceiling. I feel like this is not exactly working like you're expecting, knife here.
No, not one bit. But I imagine the feeling's mutual. Sort of, he swings down, you hear him land on the floor and stand upright, look into the cell. He sort of offers his arm through the cell. You're like tied up, right?
Yeah, I have like bronze braces on and whatnot, locking me up. I'm assuming they're smart enough to know that they should lock my arms behind my back as an orc.
Even yeah, so. You're brass tied up in the hog tie style. You're able to walk around, and that's about it.
He sort of sticks his arm through the little bars on the cell door, offering you a handshake.
What, are you trying to offer me a snack?
Yeah. Just slowly, he gets the message, just slowly like retracts it back. I am Separ Sitanise. Shitanise. I come to you with a proposition. An arrangement. An agreement.
Well, I ain't going nowhere. Speak up.
I want to make a deal.
I'm waiting for you to talk, knife here.
Sorry. He looks at you, he says, he's like, listen, I've been looking for something that I thought these world leaders had, but it turns out that's not quite the case. He sort of gives you a side-eyed look. If I let you out of here, will you bring me to your ship and introduce me to your friends so that I could inquire to them about my mission?
Yeah. I ain't got much other options. What the hell ever.
Splendid! You get like a little, you just hear like a little bit of, a fiddling and sort of like a metallic, a chung. And the door swings opened to reveal him standing there, sort of in his flowing white regalia with a ranger long rifle on his back and an electro whip on his side. He gives you sort of that curt stageman's bow, and then steps inside and starts fiddling with your restraints.
Yeah, you managed to grab the keys from one of the guards outside. You probably like snuck up behind him and like snapped his neck or something and pulled his keys. So the brass fittings slowly come away. He's been locked in here like multiple different ways with multiple different locks, so it's taking you a little while to get him undone, but you finally like unlock the final one, and Gizmek is fully free.
All the while, I am listing off the benefits of him not eating me on the spot.
Yeah.
What you're hearing is just like, as you're unlocking every single lock, the more you say things about not being eaten, the more you notice more things salivating from his mouth. He's just like, if you don't want me to eat you, stop reminding me that I'm hungry.
Oh, God. Just him shutting up.
Yeah, so finally the last latch comes free, and Gizmek, you are unlatched.
Gizmek's immediate response is to like stand up, stretch a little bit, start cracking out things way too loud, like he's cracking his neck in a very not happy way, like anyone with a squeamish heart would probably be falling over in exasperation right now. He's like cracking his fingers back and forth, basically doing the orky way of making sure everything is still functioning. And then he just like looks at you and he's just like, did you happen to see where the canteen was?
He just puts a hand on your shoulder. I did. You don't want to go. You don't want to go in there.
Yeah, it just flashbacks to you looking through a window, and then like there's like a horrific sort of what's that movie? Event Horizon. There's like an Event Horizon scene inside the cantina, and you're just like, and the Harlequin just like looks away, like throws up a little bit. Yeah.
Event Horizon. Oh, God.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. If that's the case, I'll have to pick up a snack along the way. First, I'll need my eating utensils. You know where they put my claw?
He motions sort of with his head to another unlocked door behind him, with all your sort of utensils sort of laid out.
Yeah, they took all your stuff and put it in like a storage closet nearby, thinking that you couldn't get out. So it's just all sitting there.
These guys really thought very little of me now, didn't they?
I don't think they think much about anything at all.
Fair. Straw orky in a way, I can respect it.
Puts on the power claw again.
And I just take like a little step back.
Gizmek, as he's walking by, he notices the guy whose neck you snapped to get the keys. And he's just like,
might want to look away for a moment. Most of the humans get squeamish at this.
And you see him picking the guy up. And just like we have like a sudden black scene with screaming noises.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so you chow down on this dead cultist. He's not the most delicious. He's his skin is sort of rotting away. His whole body is sort of corrupted, right? So,
but he's not
the best of meals, but you haven't eaten in 2 days, so
he's a source of protein.
I'm just imagining fucking Bradan from Elden Ring.
Oh, God.
And yeah, so now you're ready to move through the ship. What sort of strategy are you guys going to take to try and like get out of here?
I think it would definitely be best if Safar went ahead, like scouted out ahead, jumping from the rafters, very, sneaky, scout out a path of least resistance.
So this is like the image in my head of what's probably going to actually wind up happening. You're going to start doing this, and you're going to go ahead and jump from all these rafters. It's going to look really cool, and then there's just going to be Gizmek stomping along behind you with no pretense of stealth whatsoever, just sort of like cracking his neck as he goes along.
Oh, God.
Well, it's probably more like Safer is going to like show you the path to take where there's nobody, right? So that's the idea, is like you guys aren't going to go straight to the
first we need to figure out a way off altogether.
To the hangar, right? You're not going to go straight to the hangar. You're going to take like an indirect route, but it's going to be like Splinter Cell style, where you're just going to stomp around, but there's nobody there because like everyone's sort of patrolling in another part. So go ahead and give me a stealth check, Safer, difficulty 4, to get through the ship without being caught.
Okay.
And like constantly going back to
how do I roll it?
And, like, telling him the direction to go.
How do I?
Okay,
there's a stealth skill
you
on
go
the
to
right
your,
side
You go
of
to your
the
character sheet and you just sort of mouse over your stealth, and then you just hit it.
Yeah, I
You
did.
yeah, and now you go up right over skills to the right. There's like 4 dice there. You click those.
Okay, the 4 6s.
Yeah.
There should be like one black one.
There you
Okay,
go.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. So that's good. 6s are worth 2 successes. And then anything that's 4+ is 1 success.
Okay.
You could shift that 6 for us to get a glory, but you probably need to be as stealthy as possible for.
No, you can
make
definitely do it. I told you the difficulty.
Yeah.
So you get the 4 that you needed. So you can. So if you have the difficulty you need without your 6s, you can use the 6s for other things.
Yeah, I think I'll put that 6 towards a glory, just to have it in the pocket in case shit goes south during this, and I need an ace in my pocket, because I think it's fine otherwise. Like, your world eaters, they're not that bright, and I can't imagine their hearing is that great, honestly. And I've been on this ship for a while at this point.
I mean, they probably fucking have tinnitus, both from screaming so much and punching each other in the ears.
And they also are wearing like helmets with no mechanics in them, right? Like,
and just the constant roar of chain blades.
Yeah, and there's so the ship is like loud in general. There's now and then you'll hear like hard drumming, right? Or you'll hear like, as I said, you'll go by a brig that's just screaming nonstop. Now and then you'll go past like a combat arena where there's a bunch of like space marines fighting a couple combat servitors, and they're screaming, and the servitors are screaming, and everyone. It's just very loud ship, right?
Honestly, the big thing is just not being seen. And as an Eldar ranger who is in training to be a Harlequin, that's kind of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, no, it's not difficult at all for you. I mean, you've been living on this ship for months, and they haven't found you, basically. So years even. Yeah, you've been on the ship for years.
As an Eldar, you kind of have time. I'd say it's been like almost a year at this point. Actually a few years at this point, yeah. And
it's probably 2, because they came out of the cicatrix at a different time than the Black Star did.
Yeah.
Blackstone.
Time is kind of weird, but anyway, you've been here for a long time.
Dude.
I'm just fucking tired of
Waiting.
it.
Yeah.
Blackstone.
So you both eventually make it to the hangar, and there's nobody around. Like, it seems like they've been like really distracted. Blackstone, yes, sorry, not Black Star. That's a different thing.
Also, I want to make the joke that thankfully we are not on a noise marine. You aren't on a noise marine ship.
Oh yeah,
God.
we ain't with no Slaneshis.
Oh, they would have smelled me.
You would be dead. You would
Yeah.
be dead.
He's so dead.
No, you wouldn't be dead. You would be
No, he's
tortured
an
for
Eldar.
eternity.
I wish
Oh,
I
yeah.
was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
true.
head would basically explode just from like the constant noise, because and then
And also, it's because
there's basically like constant sonic damage happening on that ship, so your head would just explode, and then your soul would be collected by Slanesh immediately, right? So
noise marines and like Slaneshi Chaos Space Marines in general, they can sense Eldar from a mile away.
yeah, that'd be really rough.
Yeah.
The world leaders don't really care. So anyway, you're at this hangar, and there's like nobody around. There's a bunch of I think Thunderhawk ships, right? Do
Do
the
they have
ship
like
layout.
sort of normal Imperial-esque looking cogitators at all, or do they look like they've been chaosed up a shit ton?
I mean, everything looks like it's been chaosed up a shit ton, but like the world leaders don't really do like the whole like corruption of the machine thing, right? They just put their markings on everything and like chain up skulls to stuff. So there's a whole bunch of Thunderhawks, but like some of the Thunderhawks have like giant like space creature skulls like chained to it with bronze, chains. They've got like the corn markings all over them. They've got like kill, maim, burn written on the side. They're all chaosified. They got spikes and stuff, but they're not like living machines or anything.
That's what like Safar is doing right now. He's just like sort of casually just like strolling down the line of Thunderhawks, just perusing them, looking for the one with the least like wet skin on it, the one that looks the least like wet.
And all these, most of them are, considering the World Eater's color scheme, most of these are painted red, right?
Some are painted red, some are painted white.
All right, right. Gizmek is going to be looking for one that is painted red very explicitly, and then he's going to find the nearest like cogitator terminal and try and like unlock it from Bay.
Okay,
with
no,
his mechadendrite.
especially since Safar's main color of his cloak is white, I feel like the two would start arguing back and forth about if they want a white one or a red one.
Yeah,
And
you,
that
you
just
would be
causes
like that, and I would
tension
just be
both.
like, you all get back to the ship! We need to go fast! The red one goes faster!
The red one looks like crap. It's red because that's human skin. I don't want it.
Yeah, and that don't matter at all! We ain't gonna be using it anymore after we get back to the main ship! Got better ships anyway!
So, you want to leave skid marks on the way into your own ship when you get back? I let you out.
Yeah, and you asked me to get you back to the ship! We're using the red one! Argument over!
I don't want to get in the red. It's like this starts attracting attention.
Yeah, we have this
Actually,
little...
no. Like, there's like
No?
the hangar has just been empty for like hours.
Oh.
Like, no one's here.
Yeah, we're
it's,
like having
it's
this
actually a
big
little bit
boisterous...
spooky.
We were having this big boisterous conversation, and at some point Gizmek is just like, do you know how to undock these things?
Just take a long pause of silence. I would-
Correction, you don't. We're
I
using
would-
the red one.
Fine.
Gizmek
Just
just
sorta
walks up to the cogitator and like casually like pokes one of the things in it to unlock the fucking red ship from back.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that the Thunderhawk is like the proper thing to go for a couple of days back to the Black Stone. Whatever, it's fine. Maybe it's a Stormbird. Yeah,
It is a semblance of a ship that will get us back that is red.
Yes, yes. I don't know if like I don't know if like the lore nerds are gonna roast me for me using a Thunderhawk for this, but it's it's a Space Marine type craft that the Chaos have been using.
For all we care, it could be a giant chicken painted red.
It could be a Xiphon Interceptor. They're kind of cool, but they're fighters, so like that wouldn't make any sense. Anyway,
Hey, if you are a lore nerd
so-
and you have anything to say about this, post it in the comments. Give us engagement. Anyway,
Yes.
Give us your opinion. Give us
I
your
can
opinion.
know there are other people watching. Anyway, so give me a tech test. You're still at +1 difficulty level because of injury. So let's make it difficulty 4 to get like a spacecraft.
I am out.
Yeah, so you can.
You succeed.
Not
You have,
only
It
do crit,
is an
you
Orky
get for
technology,
that.
so it's not 13.
And then you can shift one of those 6s, so you get another glory for that. So yeah, so you manage to get the bay open. You get on board the ship, and you fire off into the depths of space. And you can once you're outside, your sensors like pick up the Blackstone in pursuit of Lord Slaughter's ship here. And you start heading in that direction. They don't shoot at you because they probably don't know what the hell's going on, right? But they're also they definitely like seem distracted, right?
Right.
From you moving through the ship and from the fact that the hangar bay was empty, like it's pretty obvious that they're busy doing something that they don't care about you.
in the meantime, there is something that Holtz was doing these past couple of days.
Yes,
also,
let's go back to the Blackstone. Go ahead.
do you mind if I go first because I didn't do anything for I don't know how long?
Go for it. Yeah, do it.
Oh yeah, and Sator too. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
short details.
Soot exists.
Yes.
Yep. Right after the fucking Terminator disappeared, this
Oh yeah.
Lord's call counterpoint. Gizmek is an orc, so your opinion is invalid.
He was responding to the whole conversation between Safar and me.
Yep. Anyways, right after the Terminator disappears, Sator checks that Ira isn't fucking dead.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing is Ira is just like exhausted, right? Because she took all that shock. So the Terminator disappears, and she like slumps to her knees, and like looks down at like the shattered remains of her shard net. And she spins up on one foot and stares daggers at you. And like, what do you say? What happens? She starts like swearing at you in Eldar.
We need to get all. We need to work on my agonizer skills a bit more, I think.
Yeah, she walks up to you and like slaps you in the face. It's like, yes, you do.
I deserve that one.
I can't be protecting you and fighting with you also hitting me in the back.
Hey, hey, at the same time,
Taking you down to the combat arena every day to train on this, okay?
fine.
Good.
I just imagine like fucking Soot is like this stick figure getting dragged away to the arena by her.
She wrenches the agonizer out of your hand. It's like, you need to like prove to me you can use this before I allow you to have it again.
Very well then.
Hey,
So you're
look,
just gonna, like,
it's
let
3
her step
a.m.
all over you?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. It's time for your daily tick pounding. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so you're like, so Sator is like respectfully sorry about what happened and everything, and so he's just like going along with what she says.
Yeah.
You're gonna press back at all? Okay. So yeah, so she's just gonna start walking all over your life right now because she knows she can do it.
If there's any consolation for that, no, never mind.
What were you going to say? Say it.
Like, you know how many men I'll have to
over
kidnap
the
and-
next couple of days, if it's fine for me to, I don't know if it's alright to get to me. I don't know if you have anything more to do, but
I was just gonna have her say, like, do you know how many more men I'm gonna have to capture and torture to deal with this?
No god.
Yep. Just your
It's a lot of
party
work,
things.
And like the Escher gang that's in like the every single time she makes like a comment like that, they're like, ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Funny thing, have any of you ever read Black Legion by Aaron Dembski Bowden?
nah.
No, I have
There's
not
a
gotten to
scene
that one.
in the book where a dark Eldar, what's it called? What are the birds? Scourge. Like, her reaction to a dying Chaos Space Marine is to just get on all fours and start licking him. So I'm just imagining that.
All right. So now we'll cut to Holtz. What's Holtz been up to? And while other than helping to figure out how to repair this like horrible damage done to the command bay, right?
So, Sator, this is the first time you've really seen this, and but like Holtz is not, particularly chatty at the moment. He's kind of like sitting in his command throne, just like absolutely furious. Like he's not saying anything except for like the bare minimum orders. Like you just like do this, and like he just expects it to be done. Like there are very few people talking to him at the moment. But the one thing he's been organizing right now, on top of like affecting repairs, is essentially like rewiring the Vox systems to essentially broadcast to basically everything in this like little star system. And as soon as it's completed, he organizes like the best singers on the ship onto like the Vox broadcast, and has them start singing imperial hymns, singing about the victory of the Imperium, and essentially singing about how one tiny little raider kicked the ass of 3 World Eater ships, to basically just taunt them as he's chasing them.
All right. So it sounds like you're trying to taunt this ship that's escaping. Go ahead and
they have my orc. They're not escaping.
yeah, you're gonna have to give me a leadership check to improve your cunning, basically, and then you're gonna make a cunning check. So, for every like, let's say every 3 icons on command, you get +1 dice on cunning.
Okay. So
I think that's a good conversion.
that's a 6.
So you get +1 dice, and you can get a glory point for the glory, because I was going to have you have like a complication. So it's only fair that the crit gives you glory. So you guys are at max glory right now.
Is it alright if I spend a glory on this?
Get an extra die.
Yeah.
Is it max glory 6?
Oh yeah, it would be 6 now. Yeah.
And also, I have Scun Savvy, so I get plus rank bonus dice when making Cunning Fellowship tests.
Cool. So you get +1 extra die on that from that. So
And
one
you
more
also get
modifier.
a +1 from glory.
And this will be
So you'll get +2 die, or +3 die.
yeah.
To
So
your cunning check.
Oh.
So they have what they want. So it's gonna be tough to get them to turn around and die, basically, because their ship is super damaged from the fight. So let's say you need like difficulty like 6.
okay.
Right? I think.
So Fellowship. Yeah. I'm just gonna roll. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I have 3 dice on top of.
Hell yeah. Okay. So yeah.
So 8 successes.
So they're gonna be taunted. So what are they gonna do? Okay. So this changes things a little bit. So when the two of you come out of the bay, the ship isn't running anymore. It's like turned around and heading straight towards the Blackstone as well. So maybe that's what they've been
Yeah, that's what's been making them not
occupied by, is like getting back ready for battle stations. Yeah. So so you're still traveling ahead of them because you're in a faster ship and momentum and all that. But yeah, they're currently at full burn back to the Blackstone. And you can see like a whole bunch of like patch up repair work has been done on the hull. I'm going to do like a tech test for like Bitbug to have done some repair work on the Blackstone as well. See how he does.
Gets 4 successes.
Yeah, so he repairs enough for this Blackstone to be like, operational, because it was like rolling in space for a while. But all of Gizmek's like orky stuff has been like ripped off, right? So he no longer has like a big orky smile on the front of the ship anymore. But he's been busy the last couple of days working on it. So you guys are basically like both operational. The Thunderhawk is going to arrive like a day before you guys get into weapons range, I guess. And so so Holtz, you get word that sensor readings are showing a lone World Leader Thunderhawk approaching. I assume Gizmek, you've like, I think that these things have like a decent Vox ability, so you've probably like sent a message ahead, and maybe the next scene will be like the group of you meeting up.
No. I have something very explicit I want to do, if you'll allow me.
Okay, go ahead.
So as we're flying back, he's just like, "Oh yeah, I got you an idea."
Oh, God. He just Safar sitting like behind him. What do you mean by that?
As we get close enough, and it looks like we're about to go in for docking. You notice that instead of like the normal docking procedure, I am explicitly going not to the nearest docking bay, but to a very particular one near like the rear of the ship, closer to like the engineering quarter where Bitbug works.
Sure.
Yeah.
And as you see it, there's like a couple of like servitors out there doing some like repairs or some shit as I crash into that with you.
You just like slam into the docking bay.
Right on the way in. Right
on the way in, taking out a whole bunch of repair servitors. And they just go floating off into space, accepting their fate, you know.
Safar, realizing what's about to happen, moments before the impact, you just hear him, oh, floppy shoes of Kegarak! Right before you slam in, because he realizes what's about to happen.
Yeah, like one of the Thunderhawk wings like flies off. You don't really need it for space flight. It's mostly for atmospheric flight for the wing. And you like crash land into the bay. One wing sort of floating out into space. It's not the best.
Gizmek gets out of the broken hull of a ship, just dusts off some stuff, and looks up at the like little image of like the Mechanicus whatever shrine that he just ran over. He's just like, "That's what you get for making fun of me, Patchwork, you little toaster git."
Yeah, Bitbug like comes out of his like little shrine that he's sitting there praying at, and like he's screaming at you in binary.
Yeah, and I just like sort of cocked my head to the side.
The gangplank way above, right? Like he's not like in like close range or anything, but he's like screaming at you from across the dock.
In response, in like 2 words, Gizmek actually replies in binary and just says "fuck you" and leaves. Because I speak binary.
Yeah, so like Bitbug is like screaming at you, like all sorts of like extremely flowery language. And yeah, how does what does Safar think of that? It's pretty funny, you know.
Safar just like flops out of the he flops out of the Thunderhawk, dazed and very much blindsided. He hears that entire exchange. He hears the tech priest just go over this giant diatribe of binary he can't understand. Looks at the tech priest and says, "Yes, I agree." You said it.
Yeah.
He's like shaking. He's like shaking like 3 fists at Gizmek as Gizmek walks away.
This is the first time Bitbug has seen this strange dark-skinned Eldari.
Yeah. He manages to sort of scrape himself up off the floor and stagger past and just give sort of a curt bow.
Yes, follow me.
And that
As soon as
we
Holtz
just like
sees a
proceed
report-
towards the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as Holtz sees reports, he goes from like this furious like death glare and just kind of like relaxes, like, okay. Now to just kill these heretics. I don't have any one-liners.
You're too pissed for one-liners right now.
I am recovering from being pissed.
Yeah, so you guys are like prepping for like another major engagement. Let's like roll for like battle positioning, I guess.
There's a few things that I'd like to discuss first before that, if we have time.
Yeah.
That's up to you, GM, though.
Sure, yeah. You guys have plenty of time. You got days before the battle actually starts. So.
So first thing I basically want to talk to Gizmek and apparently the new friend who I've yet to be told about.
Yeah, let's have that scene. So like Gizmek like brings Safer up to the command deck. So the next scene is going to be...
you got earlier when we were on the way over, you got a report from Gizmek just like, "Oi, I'm coming back, don't worry about it, I'll be back shortly." Doesn't mention anything about Safer.
Nothing.
So is Holtz still like fuming on his throne, right?
I mean, as soon as like he realizes like Gizmek's like out of the ship, he's less fuming, but he's still like mildly mad that like they just robbed him.
Yeah,
he was much more mad about like losing Gizmek than anything else. But he's not going to say that.
Oh, he cares.
No.
But yeah, I just imagine that what happens is Gizmek walks into like whatever room he normally meets Holtz in, or whatever room you've somehow communicated to him, because I do have probably a microbeat in some way, shape, or form, and he probably sent me a message.
I mean, there's probably like a bunch of lieutenants sort of lined up on the command deck. Holtz is on the throne, right, in front of like the big display table, right, and that's where. And there's like an elevator that comes out there. So I assume that's where you like come out of with Safer in tow.
Yeah, so like Safer is
Holtz,
back like a few steps because Gizmek has started to like run forward slowly, and then he gets there, he starts walking through, and there's just like a brief moment of Gizmek being like, "Yo, what's up?"
Just casually, hey.
A couple of the lieutenants like smile and like nod in your direction. Like a couple of them like do like a slow air applause. They're happy you're back.
All the while, Safar has sort of moved into the shadows and is just sort of sneaking around the room unseen as best he can to try and get an entrance.
Holtz doesn't move from like his position on the command throne, but as soon as like Gizmek says, "I'm back," like he still doesn't like turn towards him. He's like, "Welcome back, Gizmek. What do you have to report?"
I went in there, crumped some gits, heard that they stole a thing, tried to crump more gits, and then they captured me.
So you don't know the layout of their ship. Oh well. Regardless, we're going to blow them up. These and he deliberately, like, he pauses for a minute and he deliberately uses the Eldar term for motherfucker in an attempt to be polite. These motherfuckers decided that they could rob from me. And I'm going to make them regret that mistake. I want them to live just long enough to understand that nobody fucks with me and gets away with it.
Yeah, nice speech and all. Oh, yeah, there was someone tagging along with me. Where the hell did he go?
It is at that point that Safar, once again doing aerial work with his whip, swings down from the ceiling, Spider-Man style, and upside down addresses, "Motherfuckers indeed."
7 out of 10.
7.
What's up with you and hanging from the ceiling? Don't your blood go to your cheeky, knife-eared head?
A lot of things have gone to my head over the years. Blood is just one of them.
And you are...
Oh yeah, this is the git what brought me out of jail, sophomore.
Sophomore. Dropping down from the ceiling and into sort of a curtsy towards Captain Holtz. Safar Shirtani. I'm here on... He's like, "Yes, it is I who freed your chunky compatriot from the brig of those bastard his butchers. And I come here seeking a boon." Sort of like leaning in.
Holtz, at least on the surface, is thoroughly unimpressed. Just kind of like leans on his arms, is like, "And?"
He what's it called? Safar sort of almost like sort of prancing around the deck. "I'm here on a mission, and I have an inquisition, which comes with a proposition. So trust your intuition."
Oh wait, just for the record, the deal was I brought him here and introduced you to you. He didn't say anything about caring about what you had to say.
It's about as good an Eldar as a human can get. Holtz responds, "If the next line you say is a rhyme, it will be the end of your time."
Oh god. Safar just says in plain Gothic, "Shutting up." So he looks at you and he says, he's like, "I've been sent here on a rite of passage mission by the Harlequin mask I've been seeking to join in regards to acquiring a certain tome in order to prove myself. So, in that
and then
note,
we like smash cut to a flashback where Holtz like threw a Eldar tome into a drawer somewhere in his room.
Yeah, I know. I know specifically what tome that he's referring to.
Yeah.
So, like, he's like, "In that note, I boarded that World Eater vessel for what would have been an easy mission, a quick in and out. But you see, there was. He looks. He says, "Well, you see that," and he just sort of points out towards the port window towards the cicatrix. He's like, "What would have been a mission taking days or months has now dragged on into its second year, and I've seen neither hide nor hair of this tome. Now, I was wondering if you had any information regarding it. I'd be willing to help you in whatever endeavors come your way. What do you say?"
I might have information regarding this tome you seek.
His eyes just sort of light up.
But whether you're worth my time or not remains to be seen. Tell me. Let's see what use you are first. What do you know about the makeup of that ship over there?
He sort of saunters over to the readout of the hololith readout of the ship, and sort of gives it a little whistle, and sort of explains pretty in depth where everything is, where gun batteries, where the crews are located, where their brig is, where their storage room. It lays everything out because he's been worming his way around for 2 years. He would know it by the back of his hand.
Yeah.
So he basically just gives them the entire top to bottom of the thing. What's the best place to strike, where they're going to be, path of least resistance, that sort of thing.
I landed here. Gizmek just points at the one arena that I landed in, and that's his entire contribution.
Yeah, and we landed here. Yes, we did land there. You landed there, yes.
I see. If your information proves to be accurate, I can assist you in your mission. Though that doesn't mean that I will be giving you your tome. You'll still have to earn it. But for the time being, I think we can make a working relationship. That is, assuming your information is accurate.
Safar just looks at him. He's like, "Come now. Do you have any reason to not trust me?"
Holtz it's still in it's a human trying to speak Eldar, so it's gonna be somewhat broken, but he's just like, how do you think I learned this fucking language?
Oh god. There's Holtz has been to Kimura, right?
No, he is. He's kind of bluffing, but he's also
Okay. Safar just kind of, sort of smiles and shrugs it off and says, he's like, "A deal's a deal. Deal's on the table." Basically sort of a, "Hey, it's your call."
From his perspective, if this goes south, you're going down with the ship anyways. So he doesn't think you're lying, but he's gotta put the grill on a Xenos. You know how it is.
Yeah.
This is just standard operating procedure.
The other human lieutenants that are standing around the deck are nodding, yes, he has to prove himself. He's a shifty Eldar.
I want to say that.
Meanwhile, Holtz is a xenophile.
Yeah. I want to say that about at this time Sator would come in and start questioning, why do we have another Eldar on the ship?
This one's mine.
Yeah, Sator, you come down from the navigatorium deck because you hear that Gizmek is here and you're doing a planning meeting. And then Ari is behind you.
Yeah, and Sator would have probably seen your soul because of warp bullshit and Eldar being Eldar.
Yeah, Ari's trying to calculate this new Quinn.
This new Quinn. All the while, Safar doesn't address her, but he knows she's watching him. So as he's walking around, he's sort of swinging his hips and stuff. And as he goes down to read a screen, sort of crouches over dramatically. Just trying to put the flex on.
Right. But you putting on a performance for her. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Can we apply Safar's intimate knowledge to the battle plan?
For sure. I'm going to give you some extra dice for positioning and +1 die to your command checks, I think, for shooting.
And I also tell Gizmek to console Grismo and tell him I'm very sorry.
What happened?
I'll let him tell you.
Oh.
I don't even remember what happened.
I basically, like, there were a few days where Holtz was very, very angry. And, and like, since Grismo was basically like Gizmek's like second in command and like basically the one who knew how Gizmek's like orky operations worked, might have gotten a little high strung.
Yeah, and I'm sure like the moment Gizmek went off ship, like Bitbug started like throwing his weight around and like taking over the repair work and everything, right? And so yeah, that makes sense. That he'd be a little shunned right now.
Hey, I'll get right to taking care of the little git. First things first, so tell the crew they're gonna have to ration for a little while. And he heads off to the canteen.
Sator, did you learn anything from your encounter? I heard there was a Terminator in the Navigator Spire as well.
Well, the only thing that I could decipher is that they are particularly resistant to psychic abilities, or the warp in general. Other than that, I couldn't gather much else.
I just imagine Ira giving you a stink eye throughout all this because you're just glossing over it.
Yeah, I was definitely giving him the stink eye.
Holtz is just like,
If she's
Ira?
going,
did you learn anything?
I learned not to turn my back on Sator, I'll tell you that much.
I expect a full report later.
anyways, any clue what made them retreat?
I pull up the photo of like the sealed room, and you'll see that the door is basically like busted open, and I haven't bothered to fix it yet because there's nothing to seal in there now.
Yeah, all the bodies and body parts and blood have been cleaned off. All that's left is like all of the lightning claw rakes along the walls and the ceiling and the floor and on the door and all inside of the armory, basically.
The thing that I was concealing in there, I suppose they found it. And while I'm not particularly loath to have it off, I'm not particularly angry that it's off my ship. I do not like the idea of being robbed. What about you, Sator?
I'll make sure. I'll see what I can do to prevent them from going to the warp. Or fleeing, to be exact.
Good. Now then.
Yeah, you can prepare to follow them if they make it to the Lagrange point. You could go after them if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But so fortunately they've turned around and are looking to fight, so.
Oh yeah, they are incensed.
Oh, by the way, that's like background music in like shopping mall music right now in the bridge, like the imperial hymns and whatnot.
Later on, you get some reports from Bitbug about a bunch of speakers being broken.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
just like on a route straight to the canteen, every single speaker has like a hole punched through it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Like it's like the hymns are more to piss off them. So if you need some silence or like different forms of quote unquote music, that's fine. But yeah. I guess we just kind of like get set up for battle positions. I don't have anything more to say.
Yeah.
So, how many days has it been?
Well, you guys were on the Thunderhawk for like 2 days. And then it's been like a couple hours, and then probably like a couple more hours is when they're in like long range gun position.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask, like, during that 2 days on the Thunderhawk, like how much would what's it called? Safar and
Gizmek?
yeah, Safar and Grimzek have.
Gizmek.
Like I assume Gizmek is pretty like terse with you all the time, right? Like following the pattern
Yeah,
of breaking out of the
do
prison.
we could have done like a little bit of a flashback scene to that if we want.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, how much like would they have done during that trip?
I'm assuming like basically you would have been trying to bring up conversations, and Gizmek would have been giving you like the shortest, most deadpan response as he's trying to navigate.
In Gizmek's defense, he was hungry.
Yeah.
He was hungry and pretty angry about being captured and not just, killed in combat like a true orc warrior.
Yeah. No, because
that was one of Gizmek's like greatest fears was to die like not as a warrior, right?
Yeah, his biggest like fear is to perish in a most Yumi way. So if he were to just die of starvation in like a prison cell, that would be one of his worst fears.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad.
But like,
so basically, like Gizmek is like staring down, like
also, to be fair, and
right.
this probably didn't come up because space combat in a void is pretty easy when it's just like that, and he also didn't plan to land properly anyway. But my pilot skill isn't the greatest. So he was probably focusing the whole entire time on actually piloting the thing. Like, my tech is great. I can fix shit, and I can make things do stuff. So unlocking the ship was fine. But my pilot skill is 2.
I actually have really good piloting skill because of fucking warp navigation.
Yeah,
that would make sense, yeah.
The reason I ask is because, like, is it, like, would he have told him anything about, like, Holtz or Sator or anyone else?
To be quite honest, considering his mood at the time, he would have like you said, introduce me to your friends. Gizmek construed that as I don't have to tell you about them, I just have to show you to them, and he would have just mainly just focused on driving the ship and told you to shut up repeatedly.
Gizmek was not in the best of humors when you found him.
Yeah, basically,
also, Safar, don't take this personally, but you are constantly under watch. The moment you even try to like go into the shadows, there are las guns pointed in your direction.
Yeah,
like that's not personal. That's just standard operating procedure.
I feel like that would make him just like so uncomfortable and just so like squeamish being visible at all times. And I feel like another thing is like, okay, here's the thing. The entire time people were making battle plans, after like presenting his knowledge and information of the ship, Safar probably wasn't there because he spent hours taking a shower. Because he has been on a World Eater ship for
2 years, yeah.
Not only that, funny thing, he's been on a World Eater ship barefoot for 2 years.
Oh
yeah.
No!
I imagine World Eater
an
procedure.
Inch of blood, like stuck on.
He's like a full 2 inches short.
You know, like when you step, like when you've like stepped in like ketchup or like soda or something, and then it's like do that for 2 years.
I have like this mental image right now of you trying to find a shower on the ship. You find one and it's covered in all these sigils. You're just like, the sigils are a bit annoying. I'll be fine. You turn on the shower and it starts spraying you with blood.
Yeah. Just blood showers all throughout the ship.
God.
It's either that or it's like oil for like oiling up your muscles, right? It's like an oil shower.
Oh God.
You pass by like the Dark Mechanicus quarters and you're just covered in it.
Go.
Not like black oil, like body oil, like clear oil. You know?
Oh my God, no!
Probably a
like
mix of both.
Greek wrestler oil.
Yeah,
the fucking Pillarmen theme starts playing.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I mean, that's basically what you've been living with for 2 years is like these super muscle men that all they care about is working out. So
like.
Been killing each other.
The Pillarmen theme is connected to the dial on the shower, so every time you turn it,
and then having like rituals with prisoners where they like grab them out of the cell, put them in a ring with a space marine, and give them like a knife to fight with because it's the honorable thing to do. You know?
Oh God.
Yeah, it's just like this dude against a bare naked fucking space marine with a knife.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like that starting scene in the first episode, but like over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So they probably have these rituals to Khorne all the time, where it's like, you know, fair quote unquote combat. So yeah, it's definitely not the prettiest ship to be sitting in for forever. So you can go take a shower.
He gets out of the
That totally makes sense. Oh my god!
finally gets out of the shower for like.
And you gotta clean the shit out of your like robes because they're just like covered in dirt and grime.
Until now, none of you had realized his robes were white. I just want to put
Yeah,
that.
they're like a dark gray / red color. Oh
And
my
then
god!
finally, like those robes are white. No, I feel like even he would have forgotten. He's like, "Oh yeah, these are white." What? Like,
Yeah, for a little while you were covered in red, so you noticed yourself moving faster through the No, what?
But yeah.
Anyways,
So, Safar, as you're exploring the ship, there's probably like one or two locations that might catch your interest. One is the trophy room, and like in the back, you'll see like a Necron, like body, like strung up, like completely in like one piece. And that's probably like the most striking thing on the ship at the moment. But that room would probably tell you like the most about like what Holtz values and things like that. So.
like that would be his thing. Like in those moments he can get alone, he starts like trying to peek through people's personal belongings and things, and like trying to get a read on what everyone here is like, where is what, and that sort of thing, and just a lot of people watching. Like, you know, like that probably would have been like a big thing with him on the World Eater ship. He probably knows a lot of those World Eaters by name and has like formed parasocial relationships with them because he's just been people watching them for years.
Is there like a particular NPC that you've put in charge of like watching him, Holtz?
It's probably been designated to Wanderer, and like there's probably like 3 or 4 people that like quote escort him.
Yeah.
He's based like Holtz has allowed him to like wander about the ship so long as he's like in view of those 3 people.
Oh yeah, so one of them is definitely one of them
scene that has Safer in it as he's like peeking around has like 3 people in the room just like staring at him.
and one of them is Fred, and you have been asked to take selfies with Fred numerous times.
Just while trying to salt snake around, just a 3 little people just watching him. I feel like whoever those 3 people are, he is gonna like there'll be times where he'll just like, if they're too slow following him, he'll just pick them up and carry them with him around, and like he just asks them incessant questions. How long have you been on the ship? Do you like it here? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? Have you killed anyone?
You get these really like boring like small talk conversations with Fred that are as average as possible.
Oh god.
After a bit of this, I'm sure the people you've assigned like come complaining to Holtz like, this is insufferable. He's so annoying.
and you get that from everyone else. Fred comes up to you and is like insistent on sharing these pictures with you.
Here's the thing, like Sifar, he's like 30 to 40 years old, which in Eldar years, it's like dealing with a teenager.
Yeah.
He's literally like a teenager. I feel like all the 3 people assigned to watch him have all been flirted with at some point. Like he's made passes at everyone on the ship at this point.
Nice.
Okay.
So it's 1:15. Do you guys want to have a space battle before the end, or do you want to end it here?
I'm down for a space battle because we did start late.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do space battle. Okay, cool. So, because you're both sort of in open space, we're just gonna do like some straight command checks to shoot at each other at the max distance. The world leaders are mad, and they also outgun you because they've got a bigger ship. So yeah, I'm not sure how much of a right mind Holtz is in when he decided to incense this larger ship back towards him, but we'll see how it goes.
I mean, he was trying to get his orc back.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, like.
Did you want to like cut off the pursuit when Gizmek gets back, or did you want to keep going into the fight? Because if you
Well-
stop broadcasting and start like floating away, they would just continue on their path. They would,
It's a good question. Yeah, like they're much bigger than the other two ships, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have an asteroid field. Gizmek's back. He doesn't like letting them get away with the damn axe.
right.
He'd try and maybe like bait them into a more advantageous position. Still kind of like, you know, I don't know. Could he get away into like an asteroid field with the music blaring?
Well, I feel like if you're not like flying straight at them, right? Like they'll just be like, well, we're not going to go chasing after this guy. We're just going to we've got the thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he basically won that battle from his perspective.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he kind of did, except for
So-
the fact that they retreated because they got the thing, right? So
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't like letting them get away with that, but like,
Yeah.
Like, maybe you have like nightmares of like the lightning claw right in front of your body, right?
Yeah. No. He's probably gonna back off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we'll have that happen. So after Gizmek, you stop broadcasting and you fall back, and the world leadership again turns around and hits the Lagrange point and warps out, and you're left alone in this system.
Sator doesn't have the actual navigator power to make like a miniature warp storm, so he cannot mess with them at all. Really.
Yeah.
When the other ship warps away, you get a Vox communication from the planet.
Yeah, I figured the planet would respond, especially since we were like they probably heard the hymns too.
Yeah.
Like we weren't exactly doing that.
Very
Like it was an open channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically send you a message that's like,
Please shut it off.
hello, like are you a friendly Imperium ship and not a murderous rampaging pirate?
Holtz, if there's like a VOD cast, would have like the service goes around him and introduce himself as, I am Rogue Trader Holtz, emissary of His Majesty the Emperor of Mankind.
Yeah. So the guy is it's this bald man. He's pretty old. He's got like the imperial like bureaucrats like typical outfit on. It seems like this world wasn't one that had like its own culture. It was like set up as a factory world, right? So it's got the like default imperial culture. And yeah, he's like pretty overweight. He's like surrounded by various hangers on and so forth. And he's like, oh, thank the Emperor. If we had to deal with another pirate coming out of the warp, I don't know what we would have done. We haven't been visited in quite a long time. The warehouses are full.
Rest assured, the Imperium has not forgotten you. I am proof of that enough, I believe.
And he says, well, I know you were just one ship, but we have a tribute available. I guess. What is happening out there?
I'm trying to figure out how much I want to tell him. So first of all, how much of a tribute does he have available? Does he have like the full 10 years worth?
Yeah, like the warehouses. I mean, the factories have been going full blast, as ordered. He's running out of like raw materials apparently, so probably only like 5 years of tribute rather than 10 years. He probably says, well, we took us a while to get back going after the event, and we've not had any supply for quite some time, but we've managed to drill into the other worlds in the system and drill into the moons. So we've managed to, we're at half capacity. if we are provided with a proper supply route, I'm sure there's no reason we can't be back to 100%.
Holtz kind of like drums his fingers on like the table. I'm assuming they're like at a negotiating table, like in person at this point, or are they still like?
If you want to be, so we can fast forward a bit. You can have flown to the planet, gotten a lighter, gone down, right? You land at like the top level of like a hive, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like takes you into his like imperial palace at the top of the hive, which is
I'm gonna assume that Holtz wouldn't want to bring Gizmek right now.
Yeah, no, the aliens stay on the ship.
If anything, you'll probably also want Sator to stay there just in case anything happens.
Yeah. So it's basically just Holtz and like an honor guard essentially.
And your sister, I forget what her name is.
Wanderer.
Wanderer, right? So Wanderer is not currently watching the Harlequin. She's with you.
Well, to my knowledge, Wanderer was in charge of it, but she wasn't technically the one watching him. It was these guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like drumming his fingers and like looking through the data and like having Wanderer help him. Like, how like
you could load up your ship to the gills, and you would be extremely wealthy if you didn't bring it back to. If you just try to sell it to somebody, if anyone would be willing to buy it.
I mean,
It's like a decades of a planet's entire manufacturing, right? So
yeah, I don't think I could get away with that.
Yeah.
It would be rough. It would be rough if you tried.
We are just way better off being with this guy instead of we're gonna steal your shit.
We did win 3-1, but I don't think we could win 100-1. I'm gonna be honest, guys.
That's pretty rough.
So like I think we're still solidly Imperium, at least solidly what's his name?
Varonius. You're under Varonius' thumb for now.
Yeah, we're solidly Varonius.
We're still on Jakel side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jakel Varonius, yeah.
So like he's not like hiding another 5 years worth of materials. Like we have like the accurate like supply report.
I mean, as far as you know, like he could have been doctoring these, but like there's nothing else on this planet other than manufacturing. Like, so he's got like reports of like, you know, random riots in the hives and stuff, but like they've been basically dealt with immediately. There's of course like some leakage of the parts from various, you know, tribes that live down in the basement of the hives and stuff, but it's a typical
Usual
like a typical corruption
necromancer shenanigans.
Yeah, it's within like normal
acceptable losses,
acceptable ranges, basically.
Gotcha.
Nothing too crazy. He's been doing a decent job, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine for supporting this. I was just like watchful for like, you know, there were 3 chaos ships here, and so I was watchful for like, you know, had they been like in the 10 years that they've been out of contact with the Imperium, has the government like, you know, been replaced with a pro chaos leader or something? Yeah,
so that's a thought. In the reports, like there's one hive that's like been bombarded to dust, basically. Like they took like they were basically being sieged when you arrived. In fact, a lot of the supplies were taken by the chaos ships as well.
Hence why it's like 5 years.
Yeah. So, because there's something like 50 hives on the planet or something, and like only 1 or 2 of them have been like basically bombarded to glass.
Gotcha.
He was very thankful when you arrived. You know, he's like bowing and scraping and doing the typical like, I'm in charge of this planet, but you're in charge of a ship, so you're way more important than me. You know.
Gotcha. So this guy has basically been forced to give up stuff because he has nothing to defend himself with. Like
Yeah,
PDFs, basically
he's got no military presence whatsoever. The typical like setup for this would be he would send an astropathic message on like a threat of coming into system, and then the nearby Imperial Navy would organize and send a response, right?
Except
But
we have no. Yeah.
He also hasn't been attacked other than this one attack this entire time, except for the like. There's apparently like some pirates that are living out in the moons and stuff, but that's about it.
So I'm paranoid. Like.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So give me a roll, like a cunning roll.
Yeah. It's
Actually, it wouldn't be cunning. It'd be like it would be investigation.
No, it's
It's insight.
So I have a skill called paranoia that lets me roll a cunning fellowship roll in secrets. So you would roll it, and I would be able to ask anyone question, and you'd tell me an answer.
Oh, right, like the secret thing. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead and make that roll for me. And
Can't you just do that for free once per session, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I can do that for free once per.
Yeah. So go ahead and do that. Just do it in the public, and we'll see what you get.
Yeah, and I guess I get no reroll.
Yeah.
No reroll.
Good successes.
So that was a leadership, not a
It's
not
actually
a cunning,
different.
right?
Even worse.
Worse. Great. So one success.
I just don't have a whole lot of context out here.
Yeah. So like you basically like everything he tells you, like you can't tell if he's lying or not, but he seems like he's on the up and up. He wants you to take his stuff. Like his warehouses are like full, right?
Yeah.
And they're just sitting. All this stuff is just sitting there. And this is his job, is to like have these tools ready for the shipyards, and then he gets supplied.
Mm-hmm.
He is running into some problems in that like a bunch of the factories are having to shut off because he doesn't have enough supplies, and so like there's a lot more like unemployed people down there, and so like it's getting even worse from a gang perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But he assures you that if he was to be given supplies, he'd be managed to crack down on it and get the factories back running again. I mean, you're not sure if he'd be able to do that or not, but that's what he says.
I mean, I just don't have enough information to say no. So, and I like having this, like, we need the supplies anyways. And I mean, if we'll load the ship to the gills.
Yeah, so it takes a while, but you manage to use the lighters to fill your coffers to the max with all of these like ship parts and things. Bitbug is ecstatic. He's looking forward to using some of these to help repair the ship as well.
I also have him inspect it to make sure like there's nothing. Since since he's so ecstatic, he'll be perfectly happy examining them and making sure they're all.
Oh yeah, he's like going through and doing like a sampling of the goods and like making sure they're within like tolerances and stuff, and then doing like a full like pure purging ritual on them and all this other nonsense. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're loaded up.
Yeah.
And I guess we move on to like the next. Like we had another planet involved, right? Like on our trip.
We could go back for repairs and to deliver him the supplies first.
We are loaded like all the way, so like, yeah.
And we need to get. Our next destination was like a planet with Sisters of Silence on it.
Yeah, to refresh, the choices you had were to Norris, which was a hive agri world. They're with they make like processed food stuff from the nearby agri world. There's the Forge world, Ronaldus, which is like the Blackstone experts, and they should have a whole Sisters of Silence contingent there and black ships. And this guy also asks if he can get his psychers out of the prison, because the prison's getting kind of full as well.
So I think we need to go to like the Sisters of Silence world, because like they're not gonna have like supplies to like fill up our ship, right? They're gonna have like ships that we can slave to like have them follow us in the warp, right?
Basically, yeah.
So like if we're going to make like another side trip, that would be the next stop. How is our ship looking? Are we in desperate need of repairs? Like if a pirate if we got attacked by pirates, would we still be able to fight off, or like would we be in a rough
I mean,
spot?
with all these parts, like I'm sure Bitbug would be able to repair the whole ship over time. The problem is you guys are running low on. You guys need some more ammunition, I think, and then probably like food stuff, supplies and stuff are you could probably go to like 1 or 2 other worlds before you run out of. You need to go back and resupply, basically.
Okay.
We can
Yeah,
still
I think
to-
since we didn't expect a chaos incursion, I think it might be best to head back, and just like re-up on ammo, especially since we don't know if like other places have been infested by chaos. Like
Yeah,
if we have to fight that again, I don't think we can count on survival.
You're not going to meet another Harlequin.
Yeah, we're not going to meet a surprise Harlequin again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another thing that I thought about between sessions was as you guys are traveling through the warp between these 2 places, you're sort of mapping out where all of the problems are, and so you might be able to like set up like a supply line to those
map.
worlds, like a warp map that they can follow. Basically,
Would be able to supply them an actual stars map or whatever they're actually called. I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
They can probably like puddle jump between like landmarks and stuff. And actually make a supply run work. Right. So that's probably another reason that Varonius has been sending you out as well to set these up.
Yeah.
Basically.
He'll be disappointed that he doesn't get his full 10 years worth, but like, what can you do?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have to jump back.
Anyway.
Sator, it's up to you.
Yep.
All right. So we'll pilot check. You've already made this trip once, so it's gonna be easier. So difficulty 3.
Yeah. Damn. I'm gonna spend a wrath point probably because I didn't spend
2.
any at all.
Yeah.
That's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's say you fail on 8 dice.
Please.
I mean, he failed once.
There we
There.
go. Okay, you did it.
All right.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 3.
Six,
Plus
6,
5,
7.
so
1,
6.
2,
I can
3, 4,
shift-
5, 6, 7.
I can actually shift to 6s, right?
Oh yeah, you got 6 on the first one. Yeah,
You
I
can
think we-
shift. Yes, you can.
Max,
So you can
yeah.
shift the 2 6s to get 1 glory, and then you can have the travel time.
Yeah. 1 glory and half the travel time.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys have some off time now.
Who want? I feel like
Gizmek was able to heal himself, so your full wounds.
Gizmek, you go first because
Yeah.
So, one thing I will note that you notice that Holtz definitely notices because it's right in front of his face. As you get back to the ship and all these things are loaded, a day or so later, you get these strange sticky notes in your main captain's quarters. And as you read them, they say in very broken Gothic, "Acquisition report. Acquisition request, and you get like a couple of logs about some stuff being taken aside to work on his Death Dread more.
I'm loath. So the problem with that, like, he's not going to stop all of it, but he is going to limit it because it's technically not ours. So he
I mean,
denies...
the amount of stuff that I would wind up having to take for a Death Dread would be so like paltry in comparison to what he would see. It would be still within acceptable parameters. So it's just like these sticky notes are now cluttering your area is the biggest issue.
Yeah. He
Like wallpaper.
he wants to stop the sticky notes, but he also says, like, if he also knows that if he says Gizmek, stop sending me sticky notes, he's just not going to know about the things being stolen, so he's just kind of has to deal with it.
You like assign someone to sticky note relocation.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. I'll go last.
But
I
yeah,
do
Gizmek
wanna
is
talk
spending
to
his time
Safar,
on his Death
like,
Dread.
anyway,
That's about it.
I'm gonna say that
I'm gonna have Holtz make me like some sort of intellect check to like be able to get through the like legal mumbo jumbo of the contracts to figure out like how much of this stuff he can give up to Gizmek for his
Would that
thing,
be
right?
cutting? Would that be like just straight intellects? Or?
So it'd probably be either. I think it's going to be.
I mean, he's
Maybe
finagling around a
scholarship.
contract. I would assume cutting
I think
would be very
it's going to be
relevant.
scholar. Yeah. So like a difficulty 2
yeah.
scholar check.
Okay, I might actually.
You can always call help for this potentially.
Yeah, I might have Wanderer help me with this.
Okay, she'll give you an extra die.
And is it alright if we have a lot of wrath points and they're not following?
We have
you
like
want-
5
Yeah,
glory.
we have a lot
I'm
of
gonna
glory.
spend the glory. So
How
Take
much?
2. Screw it.
Take 2. Yeah, at least 2.
well, I'm gonna use my last wrath point anyways, but I'll take 2 glory.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All right, that's 1, 2, 3. So I think that's
Yeah.
what I needed.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, I don't need to spend
Nice.
my wrath then.
Okay, so yeah, so you find like the loophole in the contract that allows you. It's like in the repair, like you can use the devices for like in combat repairs, right? If it would mean the loss of the cargo in the other direction, right? Like they want you to be able to use the cargo to save the cargo, right? And so as part of that requisition, you were able to like divert some of that stuff to Gizmek's shop. So Gizmek's gonna have a bonus on his next tech test to work on his death drop.
Yeah, hey.
Okay, so somebody go.
I mean, I guess I did want to talk to the Harlequin, whose name I'm sorry,
Safar.
Thank you.
Think of it like Safari, because his name Safar means to travel, so think of it almost sounding like Safari.
I wanted to call you like Sharpay for a second. I was like,
oh,
I was like, I know that's not it, but yeah, Safar.
That's
Yeah.
after the campaign is over. That's how we have our ending sequence. You know, all in this together.
Cut.
anyway,
yeah.
you can go before me because I need to go BRB real quick anyway.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, no. I would like to talk to Safar for a little bit.
In this downtime, like over this time, Safar has not necessarily been idle. He sort of found a small section of the ship. It's almost like a small little alcove up top, sort of out of the way, that he sort of made into what is essentially his room on the ship. A little place tucked in that people aren't usually going to look. He's sort of laid out his weapons and stuff. Got like a few stolen bedrolls to make a little nest, for lack of a better word. Has taken
Which is
to
funny because Holtz probably like provided you with like a lieutenant's room. There's plenty of room in the like.
yeah, but he's not. Yeah, but he's not.
lieutenant's-
He's not
He's not staying there. He's staying in like this little alcove we found. So
he found a place and he just set up there. And he's like sort of decorated it with little things and baubles that he's stolen from like the rest of the crew. Nothing that really would be missed. Stolen from the rest of the crew and even from the city, because like I would imagine he's managed to sneak off the ship for brief periods of time to like maybe steal something and just sort of keep it.
yeah, you guys were sitting there loading for a while, so it makes sense.
Yeah, like he would get bored, and so he just picked things off. Like, so there's a little alcove decorated with things like multi-tools that have been disassembled, small cogitators, maybe like a few little like toys that he probably try and nicked from shops and stuff. Maybe like there's some piercings from a ganger or something like that. Just all little like sort of this and that. And he's
So you're pulling a full-on Trazen, except a lot less worthwhile.
basically. As a little, yeah, like that, yeah. And like he's taken to sort of reading data slates and things like that. Just sort of
So like Holtz like orders you to come to his
Oh no,
He's, like,
Holtz
dining hall.
would go to him actually.
Oh, you go to him. So you find him in his alcove. So first you go to his room and it's empty, and you're like, "Where the hell is he?" And Wanderer's like, "No, he's got like this little alcove he likes to hang out in." And then so like Holtz probably like opens up the curtain, and like in this little alcove between like two banks of like living quarters is this like little like weird harlequin and like spot.
Little nest, for lack of a better word. Almost like think of what a crow's nest would look like.
Yeah.
There's crap everywhere. And once again, he's hanging from the ceiling.
I see you've
His own room.
I see you've made yourself at home.
Home is where the heart is.
Kind of like like brushes his hands like along some bubbles, like moving them along, and just like, do you have some time to talk? Like, looks back up at you, like hanging from the ceiling. Like, of course you do. Don't answer that.
Of course you do.
And he kind of like sits, like finds like a little like spot to like lean against for a second, and like basically like expects you to come down.
He does. Like he sort of aerial flips his way or like sort of work flips his way down and sort of goes, off onto his little pile of stolen bedrolls.
I apologize that we didn't get to test your information, to test how trustworthy you were. I hope you are not unsatisfied that I haven't given you the information you seek yet.
He's just him lounging on his bed. He sort of just shrugs. I suppose you just have to trust me anyway then.
Oh, don't worry. We'll find whether you're trustworthy or not soon enough. In the meantime, I do have a few questions for you of a rather unrelated nature.
Questions you may ask, answers I may have. Like sitting up a little more intently, he sort of gestures with his hand to Captain Holtz, as in, ask away.
He pulls up like a data slate, and he kind of like slides through his fingers for a little bit, and he like shows like hands it to you, and on it there's like a pictograph of an Eldar Corsair ship, and he would ask, have you seen this ship recently in your travels?
Like,
You probably haven't.
there is a long, like a longish shit pause. And then he just says, no, and then hands you the data slate back. Like, no guile or fancy, just no.
I see. And just like puts it away. It's like, it's worth a shot anyways. Another question.
Here's the thing. When he says no, it sounds shifty as hell.
I mean, Eldar sound shifty as hell all the time, so like,
Right.
It's shifty for an Eldar.
Oh my god.
Okay, here's the thing. Should I just drop this little bit of information?
Go ahead.
It's his mom is on the ship.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
he's ducking his mom. Like, his mom used to be a Corsair and is now an Archon in Kimura. So if he sees a ship that looks similar to what his mom's ship looked like, he'll get nervous.
Gotcha.
That is his big fear. Getting like brought back in by his mom into Kimura.
well, Holtz has no knowledge of that. So.
Yeah, Holtz had no knowledge of that, but like, say the ship looks similar, like it's got similar color markings and stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same ship.
All right, and for right now, Holtz is like you're an Eldar. You're always shifty. Like he can't. Yeah. He's not that attuned to Eldar sensitivity to be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna be like, he'll just take you at your word for now. Next thing he asks is what you've been on the World Leadership for the past 2 years, correct? What do you know of the status of the other side of the maledictum?
Like the Imperium proper, right?
I mean, basically that side of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're in the Dark Imperium, right?
Essentially, yeah.
He just sort of like rubs the back of his neck. He says, he's like, I assume you mean the other half of your beloved Imperium. It's a mess. He sort of starts regaling Holtz with stories.
Well, you wouldn't really know, because like the Lord Slaughter, you were on Lord Slaughter's like flagship when he chased after the Blackstone, and so basically like both of you went into the cicatrix at the same time.
Good point. No, I was thinking that like, I was thinking that like since he's been on Lord Slaughter's ship, he would have heard something about other raiding parties.
I mean, you know that they don't know anything that's going on the other side either.
Oh,
They're cut off as well. Like they were supposed to be on the other side, but they were chasing after this artifact, right?
To be fair, they are also Khorne chaos worshippers, so they probably also don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, Safar would say, he's like, I would imagine it's chaos. I can't imagine it's going that well. But aside from that, I have no idea. He says, when I was last on my mission, I was traveling through the webway. So Safar gets a little bit comfortable and decides to open up to Holtz a little bit and says, it's like, I'm here for the long haul. I might as well open up to somebody. So he talks to Holtz. They have a bit of a meeting of the minds. He says to him, before the cicatrix tore the galaxy in twain, I was not but a common Eldari ranger, having taken leave from a group who had taken leave from a group who had taken leave. Basically saying he was taking leave from a Corsair fleet who had taken leave from a craft world who had taken leave from the Eldari.
Yeah.
And then he says, it was then eventually I heard the call of Kegarok upon my soul. So I wandered into the webway and was found by the mask of the solar marionettes, those great Harlequin and daring devils. Giving his little panegyric and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was given his rite of passage test before he could join was to find this tome. So he traveled through the webway, boarded this World Eater vessel to get this thing to sort of get in and get out. But then the galaxy was torn apart, and then he was sort of left stranded. So what was going to be a simple in and out mission just to prove he was, stealthy and had a lot of guile has spiraled out of control. And now he's kind of screwed.
So what Holtz got from that was that Safar cannot use the webway to travel across the other side of the maledictum. Is that correct?
Would he ask you? Is so we can't use the webway?
He right now he's just kind of inferring, and this is more of a question for the GM, from that conversation.
Oh, I see.
It's more like the webway entrance he was supposed to use to get back into the mask's embrace is covered by the cicatrix now, so he doesn't really know how to get there.
Gotcha.
Or he doesn't really know what's going on with the webway, but you would imagine that it's probably wrecked by the wave of chaos energy flowing across it, right?
Yeah.
But he could use the webway on this side of the maledictum, but he couldn't. It's doubtful that he could cross it. Is that what I'm?
If Safar was asked about it, he would probably say, from just a point of just Eldari shorthand knowledge of this sort of thing, that.
But he doesn't really know. But he's guessing, right?
He could make an educated guess that probably the webway has also likely been cut in half too, and whatever parts of the webway we could get into here are likely not at all safe.
Let me see. All the better then.
It is a thing in the current lore that the part of the webway within the Dark Imperium, it's full of demons. It's full of I think Ahriman's boys, and there's Necrons in it too. In places it is not safe.
Yeah. So yeah, you would actually see Holtz for a brief moment drop the hard nosed facade for a little bit, just a slight sense of relief before it picks back up. And then he's just well, in that case, since you'll be here for a while, I do have a project for you. You said you were an acolyte of the Harlequins, yes?
Safar said, gives sort of a curt nod, yes, exactly, go ahead.
You briefly, I don't know if you exactly met, but you saw the Drukhari aboard this ship, yes?
He sort of gets that sly smile. He's like, oh yes, I saw. I saw.
She has interest in the Harlequins that has been an issue for some time. You should talk to Sator about it. Or talk to Ira directly herself. Though I'd recommend getting some information on it before you do. Other than that, I've said my piece. If you need me, I'll be on the bridge.
So Safar looks immediately intrigued by that. He gets a smile like, oh, intrigued at the prospect of speaking to another Eldari, which is something he hasn't done in years.
I'll say Holtz just walks away.
Yeah. Safar doesn't say anything, but maybe you can probably hear Safar leaving his little alcove to sort of go to,
Yeah.
to find Sator.
Sator was also going to actually go after Safar soon too, so yeah.
Oh, there's a line set up outside of his little cubby hole.
It's
Half the ship wants to meet with this guy.
whatever.
It's the new character. It's the new PC.
It's the new PC. Everyone wants to meet with him.
He's Gizmek with a piece of wraithbone about to be like, how the hell does this work?
80% of people in the line to see him all are there to ask for something back.
All right. Hey, we got time for a little bit more social stuff. We got 10 more minutes, so let's have another scene with Sator and Safer. Yeah.
Nice.
So Sator would probably be going normally along his day, and sort of decide to actually start looking for you. So he will look into the warp for your soul, and he realizes that you are very close to him.
Very close as in approaching, or very close as in he's been behind you for the past 4 minutes?
Probably
You
that.
decide.
He's been behind you in the room for 4 minutes. Is there. Hello.
Well, you sure are stealthy. I'll give you that.
He starts doing kung fu hand sort of motions. Just
Well, well,
he looks at you. Sorry,
you go ahead. Go ahead.
He's he in particular is very interested in you the entire time. You often find him sort of staring at you and looking at you the entire time he's been on the ship, because he's never seen a navigator before. So
Yeah.
he says he's like your beloved Captain Holtz has instructed me with a special mission, a clandestine operation of sorts that I am to ask you for some information about in regards to that voluptuous Drukhari maiden aboard the ship. And
He's rail thin too, which is really funny.
What?
She's like a rail thin Drukhari, right? So it's really funny that she'd be voluptuous for Eldar, right?
Yeah, for an Eldar. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, boy, she thick. Literally flies away in the wind.
Literally just a whip.
She has 0.1% body fat. Damn, she thick.
And he just does that thing where he sort of points inside his elbow, sheesh.
Sator would roll his third eye and say in Eldar, go ahead.
He sort of asks, he pops the question, I've heard she has some interest in the Harlequins, some sort of consternation about it. Might you divulge any information to me about that?
Well, not necessarily the Harlequins, but you are one of the options. But they are one of the options she was looking for. She's not the most happy, let's say, about having to torture everyone to keep she who thirsts away.
I would imagine not.
I've had the chance to ask what Holtz was your Eldar buddy's name again?
The Eldar Corsair Prince Daltier.
I've had the chance to ask the Corsair Prince Daltier about it. The only information he managed to give me was that I should go looking for either the Harlequins or the Inari. The Inari are much more mysterious to me. At the same time, I still have very little information about you. And by you, Sator is meaning the Harlequins.
I see. Safar sort of what's it called? He sort of sits down and says he's like, well, to put it short, that's complicated. He's like, Harlequins are. He's like, one does not become a Harlequin. The Harlequin becomes one. Do you understand?
Go ahead.
He goes on to explain. He's like, when one is to become a Harlequin, Kegarak chooses you. You hear the voice within your mind's eye, and you go to it. You are almost called away into the webway by the children of the Laughing God. Basically saying, explaining how you don't necessarily go off to become a Harlequin. You're kind of sort of chosen.
Yeah.
So, Safar explains, that he could talk to her about Harlequins. He's like, I could speak to her about Harlequins and those ancient traditions of the performers and see if that knowledge awakens the laughter of Kegarak within her. But ultimately, it's not up to her or me.
Interesting.
Basically saying he can sort of nudge her in that direction, but it's not up to anybody else.
Yeah, it's like she is the best you can do is make her interested in the Harlequins, and then if Kegarak chooses her, she'll be chosen. That's it.
Yeah.
And she'll probably be given a super long, ridiculous mission to prove herself in the same way.
Yeah.
Similar to what Safar is going through right now, yeah.
Yeah, so she will be gone for a while after that.
Mm-hmm.
This is no skin off of Holtz's back, by the way.
And she would also join a mask, so she would probably just leave entirely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she went that route.
You could bring her back though as an NPC, say that the mask requires that this group of people, the group of people she was with, be watched over, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's my plan for Safar. If the campaign gets to level 3, I just take the same character, upgrade him to an actual Harlequin stats, and then just bring him back under that pretext.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we all will be playing basically the same characters mostly throughout, unless we change our mind about something or, we die.
Yeah.
Yeah, in all cases, unless absolutely necessary, don't make me commission more art.
Yeah.
Trisky, Sator has grown one finger a bit longer. I need new art.
Well, luckily for you, you can't see it behind the whip. Fucking deal with it.
Anyway.
Okay, so we can have that conversation with Ari some other time.
Yeah.
You're mixing up the I and the A.
Let's have Gizmek make a tech roll, and we'll role play out the continuation of the Death Dread, and then we will end it for today.
All right, so I have this set up properly. What I'm doing is I'm temporarily boosting my rank by 2 because it doubles my rank for orc stuff.
Right. You should also get an extra 2 die because you have extra material.
All right.
You could probably also spend those 3 glory points since we're not.
You could as well.
Yeah. All right. I'll do the glory points after, but this is the initial roll. Holy shit! Come on!
Well, that's another complication. So let's think of a thing that could complicate this construction.
Plus 1 additional 1.
That was from your extra thing. Yeah, now you're doing.
Yeah, you're 3 glory.
Yeah, those 2d6 are.
You need another 1d6.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 successes, but a complication.
Yeah, so you got 11 more charges toward the max. And you already have a piece of equipment that you can. You have a piece of equipment that you need to complete it. That from our previous complication. So I'm trying to think about a good complication for this one.
Oh wait,
I don't want to do the same thing.
Okay.
If you have an idea, let me know.
Yeah, so the first complication we had, just to set the record straight, was that there was a particular piece that I was just outright missing and couldn't seem to get.
It was a piece of orc technology that it's like a gyro thingy
Gyro
that
wants it
has
down
no
them gulch.
like replacement in Imperium tech. So he needed to get it from like an orc mech shop somewhere.
And I like the orky knowledge still to custom make it myself out of shit.
Yeah, or you don't have like enough orcs nearby to make it work, you know?
Yeah, not enough Warfield.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think about what like a second complication would be that isn't the same thing, so it's not like, you know, anti-creative.
So
I don't want to just take charges away, because that's stupid boring.
Here's my idea. Gizmek is working on the mech and having a good time of it. And then he gets a little bit clumsy, dicking around, yelling at one of the toaster boys as they walk past. And Gizmo happens to be carting some stuff up to Gizmek. And as this happens, Gizmek drops something, which then causes basically, you know those fucking like
Cartoon
Rube Goldberg
bullshit.
machines?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically a sequence of that shit eventually causes Gizmo's cart to inevitably result in Gizmek's stack of regicide board, like little miniature things that he's been working on getting flung into space.
Oh no.
And
It like falls into like a furnace. Like they just get blasted. Yeah.
And Holtz gets yet more sticky notes about acquisitions. This time with like tons of like regicide symbols on them.
God.
And you also get multiple reports of additional casualties from orky behavior.
Gizmek
Should have left you on the world eating
You
shit.
should have left me on the fucking chaos ship.
Gizmek needs a new Warhammer army.
Also, Safar.
Yeah.
At some point, you notice you come back. You've been wandering around for a little bit. You come back to your little nest, and you find a cowering grot in there because Gizmo has fucking run away from Gizmek. And for like a good like week or two to avoid his wrath.
Oh god.
Okay.
And I think without his help, you get like a few fewer charges on your
Yeah, so instead of like
on
29,
as
I'd be
well.
down to like 25 maybe.
Yeah. Drop four. That makes sense. Cool. All
By
right,
the
awesome
way,
guys.
Yeah, I do have one more thing that I might have done if we didn't have. We might do this next session. What would
We can start with it next time.
what would Safar's opinion be if Sator asked him, "Hey, do you want to go looking for chaos cults?"
Oh god. Hard yes.
And that's how we start next session.
Yeah.
You can become like the rat catcher on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Go pull full on warhams, just start going like and becoming the Dark Knight of the underdecks.
Hey, to survive on Holtz's ship, you need to be useful.
Like Moon Knight, considering he's fucking chatty, nuts, and wearing all white, so he's more like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, you
Anywho,
need to be useful on Holtz's ship to live in it. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Thing is,
Anyway.
since he's an art, he basically acts like a cat, so you just see him.
excuse me, I'm trying to wrap up the episode.
Go ahead.
Just Gizmek being busy. I do believe that that's about the end of what we can manage to get in today, because I do believe Six has something else going on in a short little bit, and I do have something going on later this evening, and I would also like to get some food. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining
I'd
us.
like to get some lunch for sure.
Oh yeah.
Have a good day, everybody. Have a good week.
Yep. Everyone say bye, or I'll crump you.
Bye.
Bye.
Great being here.